Good evening and welcome everyone to the PUBG Continental Series 3. And my name is Contra alongside with Yoli. We'll be covering the Asia Pacific region of the competition, and it's day number 4. Welcome on board for those of you guys who are new to the competition, and of course, welcome back if you guys have been tuning in from day 1 all the way to now. You guys are the MVP, and of course, all of this are organized by PUBG Corporation, presented by Geek Events, supported by K&K Revolution and Cause and Effect. We'll be getting our show on the road as we've already covered 3 days of play with 4 games being played on each of these maps. And well, Yololi, you've been covering the action coming from yesterday's run and back in day 3. What could you possibly take out of it? And of course, do fill me in with all the news.
Oh, of course, definitely for sure. And of course, once again, thank you viewers so much for joining us ever since from day 1 of the PCS here. So a lot of things has been going down, but before I talk about it, this is going to be our quick overview of what's going to be happening throughout the entire month of November for all of you PUBG fanatics. So pretty much, if you guys have some Asia teams or North American teams fans here, you can definitely check them out on Thursday and Friday. But for now, for this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, you can check us out for the Asia Pacific and also for the Europe side. So coming back to what was really happening going on, right? So just looking. All right, shit, no, sorry. Before I talk about that, another overview of the map information as well, and I just really want to point out, Aaron, of the fact that I really love this current format for this map for the rest of the weekend for the PCS3 APAC, mainly because now we see a split positioning for the maps here. So we're not going to be seeing some really odd numbers where like, oh, we play 3 maps in Mirama, 2 maps in Erangel. However, the team that's more main towards Erangel has to play a little bit more harder to catch up to the teams who is more better on the map of Erangel here. So seeing the fact with them, we're seeing like very split, even out or even matchings here. We're going to be able to see a clear delegation of points here, and also possibly like a 50-50% chance for the team to try to up their kill points or placement points.
That's right, and if we look into towards the standings, of course, LG Divine still takes the lead, although they did not take any sort of chicken dinner. Back in day 3, we see pretty much a great sort of duke out coming in from all the other teams that have been able to push themselves through, and this is going to be the prize pool worth up to 200,000 US dollars, and on top of that, 12.5% of the in-game sales will go to the respective teams. Additionally, 12.5% of the sales will be distributed equally amongst the participants of PCS3 APAC. So, of course, for those of you guys who definitely enjoy some of all these beautiful PUBG weapon skins or even outfits, do check out the stores out there. You guys can also look out to catch yourself some EP. Vote for your favorite team on who will potentially get those chicken dinners, and you guys might walk away with even more of those swags up and coming. So, without further ado, we'll be moving in towards our matches soon. And, well, I like the fact that you pointed out that, we got even number of games for both Miramar as well as Arangel. And on the first weekend, we saw LG Divine rake up a total of 5 chicken dinners, and it's all thanks to their run inside of Miramar, and they did get one inside of Arangel as well. But Buriram United Esports, they've been closing in on the gap. They are now only 20 points shy to break the score even with LG Divine. But Fury, they also did ramp up on those kill numbers, and they are now matching the same number of kills with LG Divine. Sharper comes in off 4th with 91 points, 88 points for Division X Gaming. Ballerina Elites also catching up closely, getting their first chicken dinner yesterday alongside with Division X, and they are definitely on the rise. Speaking of rise, Victim Rise got one for themselves, and same goes to Cerberus Esports with them topping that top 8.
And then also following up, we have Magic's Esports here, not too far behind, of course, having a total points of 64, followed by Angel Alliance, who did an amazing amount of performance, managed to climb all the way up to 10th place here with 62, and follow up, we have our bottom 5 teams here. But speaking of that, we have our damage for the top 5 players here, and of course, standing in the top lead here, we're going to be having Kim Siva from Sharper Esports, followed by Fury, is going to be Ronan, Sophia from Ballerina Elites, Canberra's Esports will be Haisaki, and Eddie for Buriram United. Honestly, just like hearing all these names and teams has been very common. It's definitely a teams which you are not going to be able to forget, or most likely we're definitely going to be remembering, because from PC, these are all returning teams from PCS1 and PCS2. They managed to stand up, show their mental as well, and their firepower is definitely not to be a question, especially for Ronan. Like most people will start thinking like, oh, in Fury, everyone starts thinking about Flood, right? But then at the same
Hmm.
time, when Flood is not able to deliver, Ronan has always been showcasing his skill whenever Flood is not able to really deliver. Especially, for example, we saw from last weekend in day number 2 when Flood actually fell down a little bit, got knocked off a little bit earlier. He actually came back and brought in the triple kill for the team, allowing his team to stay in the game a little bit longer,
Hmm.
all the way to that phase 9 circle.
That's right. And looking at the top kill leaderboards, it's going to be 80 there that secures 22 kills. Yes, he may not deal the
Hmm.
highest of damage. It's Kim Siva, actually 1 kill away alongside with Tonke of Magic Esports to be catching right in. June of LG Divine is pretty close by with 20k for himself. And speaking of Flood, yes, he still have some phenomenal performance here with 19k in the back for the side of Fury. So the Oceanic region definitely will be putting all the pedal to the metal for today, because
Hmm.
this weekend is definitely the definitive moment for them to just catch back up on track. And honestly, it's not really too far away. If they catch a chicken dinner or two, it could easily send in up sky high. And of course, in the PUBG Continental Series 3 APAC, anything is possible. So we'll be getting ourselves ready for our very first run of the day, and day 4 out of course, all 4 games, starting off with Arangel, later on moving in towards Miramar. So the story is this: back in week number 1, is that nobody has been able to contest LG Divine inside of Miramar, with them winning every single Miramar matchup. But it's not the
Hmm.
case from yesterday, where we saw, of course, those chicken dinners fall into its different hands, where throughout the day we saw Cerberus, Victim Rise, Battle Arena Elites, as well as Division X Gaming managing to pull one for themselves. And respectfully, they are now in the top 8 ladder. There's still chances for anybody to just swap position to be able to snatch the glory away from the side of LG Divine. But I'm pretty sure with pretty much a lackluster performance than usual, I'm saying than usual, of course, because LG
Than
Divine,
usual.
they have been on the top for a very long time, but it's not the same sort of consistency that we saw back in week number 1, and that's where I think that they're showing a little bit of sign of concerns, and even the Titans like them will be having a little bit of a dilemma from time to time, and that's where the other teams like Buriram United, Fury, Sharper Esports, Division X Gaming, they see this as the golden opportunity to
Mm.
find ways to overtake the Vietnamese Titans right above them. So, of course, today there's going to be a whole lot of hot topics to talk about. Any sort of spectacular play that you witnessed yesterday coming from any of the maps?
Honestly, I think the most surprising thing was definitely going to be one of the middle teams here, especially Angel Alliance, or in this case, even Division X Gaming, or even Battle Arena Elites, because they were actually before yesterday's games, or before yesterday in particular, day number 3, day number 2, their ranking in the match leaderboard, or the total leaderboard in this case, they were actually 9 and 10 place. But all it took was just one great game, one chicken dinner, followed by a great number of kill points, and they were able to elevate all the way back to top 5 to 5th and 6th placing. And I think that was really amazing stuff being played by Battle Arena Leagues and Division X Gaming. And speaking of consistency as well, LG Divine, yes, honestly, to me, I still think LG Divine is still a team that's been, not to say the most inconsistent team here. Sure, last weekend they have the greatest of run for Marama, literally earning them the title of King of Marama. But however, when it comes to Erangel, they didn't really manage to even get the number of kill points or even the average point necessary for each team to really elevate themselves in points. However, with the total scores they had in Marama, it was pretty much enough to make up for what they were actually lacking from last weekend. And supposedly this weekend they were supposed to try to solidify themselves. I thought after watching match number 1 in Erangel, because although yes, LG Divine couldn't get the first chicken dinner on match 1, however they still got second place with a total of 10 kill points. And I'm saying like, all right, I thought they found the middle ground. I thought they found the middle ground of trying to be very consistent moving on, because the most important thing when you come, especially in the PCS3, is trying to have a great start. Once you have a great start, it's
That's
always
right.
about maintaining that start, being consistent all the way. But after that
Hmm.
match one, they just started falling off. They started getting picked off. They started being breached constantly. Although yes, the strat which they usually like to do is just constantly get to the center, holding down the compound. It does work when it gets towards the late game, but the early phase of the game is sort of difficult because everyone is always just trying to be contesting. There's multiple
Agreed.
teams. You're always getting surrounded.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
LG Divine definitely not having a fun time yesterday's game. Buriram and Fury, however, yes, Buriram has always been the team that has been very consistent. We also saw their past
I agree.
achievement back in PCS 1 and 2. They got third, even Charity Showdown, they got third, second, and third place. Of course, they want to level up and just end the year with the championship spot, because this is the last and biggest event for PUBG here. So they definitely want to end the year getting that championship spot here. And yesterday, by the way, it was by far their only chance to actually overwhelm LG Divine. But the middle stages, BAE, Divine S Gaming, Kerberos, Victim Rise, all these returning teams. Let's be honest. Although yes, it's going to be a really a really hard role for them, or basically it's a very
Mm.
tough lobby for all these middle teams to really catch up to the top three teams, or even try to get a
Ex-
championship spot. But
exactly.
who said that they cannot be applying that pressure? So it was a really tough lobby for a majority of these teams here.
Yeah, I definitely agree that this is the rule stiff competition when you bring the best of APAC, Southeast Asia, Oceania, and of course
Mm.
teams from all over Asia to be contending right here. And we see a very beautiful consistency from the side of Buram El Abai, not really getting all the second dinner yesterday. They still get the average score of placement of a fourth place finish, or even in some of these cases, the chicken dinners to come from time to time. So they have a
Mm.
really good track record of consistency, and that really can pull them into place. The doesn't matter if you get a 10K up in the early game if you could not really secure all these good placements by the end of the game. And Buram is the mix back of a little bit of both. So perhaps with this sort of formula that they do have with them, they might be able to overtake, because all it takes right now is about 20 points to be able
Mm.
to overtake LG Divine. And now we're getting ready for match number 13 of the PCS APAC, day number 4. And with this sort of flight, we'll be coming in from the southern side all the way up towards 70. So pretty much neutral for many of the teams to be able to drop right in towards their locations in townships. As you can definitely see the rankings for Aaron Gale, it is Buram United that's currently taking the lead, and 10 points behind. Fury, that has been able to take the lead for week number 1, has been overtaken already. LG Divine, yes, they did get one chicken dinner in the back, but they are now on the third spot for the Wrangle Records. MG as well as BAE comes closely with 42 points apiece. And whoever really wants to actually drop in towards the far east side of the map is going to have a long sort of parachute flight to hit in towards their way in. Once again, heading in towards Pachinki, we are seeing Team Free Rocks as well as Magic going at work again. But hey, Magic, they're now spreading their wings apart. One in Watertown, Ruins, and some in Pachinki. Oh boy.
And also just looking right now, so looks like the race for the who lands the faster to get the vehicle is definitely not in the favor for one of the unicorn members here. As Buri Ram or Conasi here, I think he decided, like, you know what, it's very easy to juke the vehicle, especially from such a close distance. He's not gonna waste any time. He's gonna drive away to the most closest settlement or compound or near his teammates. At least try to get the necessary resources here. But anyway, finally, the first circle has been dictated and it's going towards the northern side. And once again, we see day trade and from the future once again getting punished from their one of their favorite drop spots, because normally casually when we see a neutral flight path coming on top of the map of Erangel, we often see from the future and day trade they love to go for this southern side drops near military base or even towards the southern side of the map. And then now
Mm-hmm.
suddenly their fears, their nightmares has just came to life. And now even most of the teams here who are literally half of the hemisphere here, they have to do
Mm-hmm.
such a major rotation just to reach to the circle.
That's right, and right now checking out some stats coming from Buriram United. They did a whole ton of damage so far,
Mm-hmm.
cumulatively with a 11,000 in the record and easily hitting that 12K real soon with a total point of 101 and also 62 kills. But thus far, they only got 2 chicken dinners to book. If they can match the number of chicken dinners with LG Divine, hey, easily they could possibly take the title, but of course, the hurdle is not done just yet. And speaking of a hurdle, it's going to be Noadra walking on foot, checking out whether or not is there going to be some UAZs, the SIA that he could possibly use for the moment. And it's going to be quite a
Mm-hmm.
ride coming from the Gatco region. Now, got the barrel in hand as well, pairing it with a micro Uzi. Might just be looking for a switch if he can find a DMR on the back, but nothing too substantial for now. As Buriram, they're having a little bit of trouble securing those sort of the early mobility, but they did spot out that UAZ. Now, over on the side of Fury, they're pretty much poised to be able to rotate very easily. And wow, look at those stats. It's Fury here having Flood with the highest amount of kills. Of course, Jun comes in second, Kim Steve on third, and Roram United's 80 on the fourth spot.
Honestly, like it was. I guess this kill percentage has already been updated from yesterday because like I wanted to point out the fact that Eddie from Brewery Rom, he actually had a percentage of 40 plus percent here. And I'm like, that is relatively high for a team because that just shows that the fact, I mean, sure, it just tells other people that, yes, you're the main fragger of the team, you're doing the most amount of killing. But honestly, I feel a little bit more comfortable if it would be great that each of my teammates is having more even amount of that percentage for that kill proportion because that just tells me that if Eddie was to die, then the rest of the teammates should be able to deliver the same amount of damage as Eddie is actually able to show in his present current matches. So seeing the current
Yeah,
updated one being dropping down 35%, I think that's great.
Yeah, I gotta say, Kimsiva really doing a whole lot of work for Sharper Esports, as you can see him really breaking up 13K in terms of damage.
Mm.
Well, I gotta say, this is an extraordinary number to be seeing in any sort of competition within just 4 days of play, or 5 days if you really ask me,
Right?
if we count the ones coming from yesterday. So it's definitely going to be a lot more to come because we got 4 games to be played out, starting with this one.
Mm.
And Ronan's already moving all the way through the lakes of Yasnaya Polyana, and they will be able to have that sort of advantage to be able to book any sort of territory as they please. Yukika Mukau goes in for the UAZ pickup. And now with LG Divine, they will be taking center stage and towards the warehouse of Severny, and a lot of shots already being fired towards the side of Hydra.
Now, what's even okay? I'm not gonna say that they're lucky or anything, but as usual, commonly we notice that LG Divine has always been the circle favorite. Like the circle loves LG Divine. Like often, even the first circle, even the last circle, we often see LG Divine having one of the best circles placement for themselves. Yeah, of course, there were some games which they had to do massive rotations. However, in this game, they were right dead in the center, high elevation, surrounded by a bunch of cliffs as well. So they're going to be definitely be able to sit there for quite a long time, at least until the phase, say the fourth phase or the fifth phase of the circle. Only then would they go for the
Mm-hmm.
rotation here. Speaking of
Oh,
which, this is Victor
Genfloss.
Ryan. Mad
Yeah,
Dog
he
Angel
got
Ryan.
himself some. He's gonna be able to secure a real big package here, and he immediately goes in. I'm thinking if that might just be an AWM. Got to check that in a little bit more. But Battle Royale Elite's gonna be moving forward as well. And yeah, for the record, like LG Divine, usually they like to take the very early rotation, get those quick loots coming in from the shelter,
Mm.
from all these sort of scrap compounds, and immediately make their mark in towards the first phase itself. And Battle Arena Elites have already done looting from the corners of Milta as well, so they'll be moving all the way in a little bit later than the likes of DXG, of course. But now driving through the fields of Yasnaya, this is going to be a little bit concerning because the further they go, the more danger that they're about to witness here as they just bypass the side of Purplemut. They're not really revealing their location just yet, and this is what I'm talking about here. Team Ferox now takes upon that hill, and for the likes of BABE members, we'll just see them cutting across, receiving a little bit of information, and they will part ways. But more troubles ahead with Magic on top of Stalber.
And also you must also take into account as well, like this Erangel in particular, the map itself is the kind of map which you do not really want to get to the center too quickly. You often see players like it's for all those fragging teams like BAE, Fury, Buriram. They love to play around the edge, and the edge is pretty much the best way you can actually play on Erangel. That just allows you to go for the pickup. Ooh, the motorcycle! Gotta be careful there, Sophia. Because it would be quite a shame he would have flipped that bike and instantly lose two members in the very first phase of the game. That would be very unfortunate.
Yeah, and seems like there's a whole lot of gunfire already being put out there. Barrera now struggling to find themselves a place to call home as they drive past the corners of South George, and BAE will have to face against Ikikamukau. They do have 4-man strong alongside with them, while Fury will only have Yukika here waiting alongside, but he's going to be playing it a little bit patiently as he cuts through the corners of the wall. And lucky enough, BAE is just having some time to be able to loot up and doesn't really spot out all the sort of the commotion just about yet. Sophia already receiving a little bit of that sort of threat much early on with the rotation. Now they spot out Ikika and Twants unleashing all the bullets out there, and Sophia gets that first knock of the game, and instantly BAE secures first blood.
Oh man, that is really, really punishing for them as well, for Fury as well, losing not just losing one member, but same goes for Buriram as well. However, Unicorn, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place here without any cover. He had this one tree, but I think he's completely left behind by his teammates, and his teammates know it's going to be really difficult to go for that resurrection for himself here. And dear Buriram, trying to see if he can try to go for this pickup, especially since right now he's going toe-to-toe with Angel Alliance. Angel bots here, you can definitely put your full faith in this player when it comes down to doing all that damage. You're already doing a couple of great tags as well, and now they're gonna go for the hunt. And hopefully, actually in this case, I would prefer they decide to fall back, and I think that will be a more wiser decision, because if you want to take a fight this early into the game here, then you're about to be fighting with not just all in one team here.
Exactly, and that's exactly what they're about to do. But Ronan getting picked off way too early. This is going to be denting a little bit of hopes in terms of firepower for the side. Fury, Valax coming in with those high angle shots right upon a hill. Now they're crashing right in. They want to pick up all the members of Fury to pin them down, but LG Divine looking for one for themselves. Jun with an incredible control coming in from the barrel spray down here. Seems to be pretty much the meta weapon that many of these teams have been using. As for Sophia, will be having that good old trusty Star L on his side. Now Flut's the next one to be having a couple of all these tabs coming alongside, and Pankei will let him slide for now. A little bit of trade back coming in from the side of Fury, but that's not going to be able to connect all too much. So Fury, after losing 2 members in an early stage of the game, this is going to be rather concerning, as we are hoping to see them actually make a meteoric rise for today. But hey, I guess they need a little bit of a warm-up coming on for day number 4 of PCS3 APAC.
I mean, definitely for sure. It is definitely a warm-up if they're not really warmed up just yet. But of course, the game's not really over just yet. It's of course not to say impossible for them to try to get that chicken dinner, or at least get even more consolation prize or points for themselves here. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult than usual. And now just currently we're looking at Unicorn side with the Nung. Currently at the bottom of the stack there. Going to see if they can try to get a free kill for themselves. That was a beautiful kill steal. And Gone Meow, second member of Buran, will be taken out off the board. However, BA goes on a madhouse on Kerberos, just mowing down members after members. Another team, seriously, Kerberos Gaming, another team that we all have quite the anticipation and expectation as well. However,
oh boy.
Quite difficult here, as all the teams
Shopper Esports now trying to actually pick Buram United apart as they got Kim Siva planted out, but he's going to be on that SLR, and they crash right in towards the compound. Looking pretty bad here, as that UAZ will be blown to smithereens in any sort of moment at all. And there we go, big flip, and yep, less cover for the side of Buram United. So they have to actually recuperate, get themselves pretty much healed up to trade back towards the side of Sharper Esports by this quarter. Yes, they still have a little bit of the chunk of phase number 2, but this is not really the final destination that they want to be at. You can see that rotation coming in from the western side, and from the future, they're cutting past two teams right here with Angel Alliance as well as Hydra already being in the choke points itself. LG Divine now takes center stage alongside with Fury. Mad Dog, big frag, and it's Hexagon out of the game.
What a spray control, but of course Hydra Gaming was still able to retaliate ban and also punish and knock down Mad Dog, but he's still in the game, he's not dead just yet, and then we can see definitely None on the way to quickly back him up, but he has to be really quick about it as well, because we are talking about a lot of SLR that's constantly hammering all of them, both of these members here in front of the UAVs. A couple of smokes, couple of utilities have to be committed here, and then we can see the two remaining members of Fury in that Wheezy Tower, trying to see if they can get some high elevation, some scouting before they can try to plan their next place to proceed.
Yeah, gotta say that they have expended a whole lot of smoke just to save Captain Mad Dog right here, and Hydra, they're looking for a little bit of elevation, cutting across those corners, but all hope is still intact. Is from the future, they're lucky enough to be able to cut right through the dilemma in between those three hot zones where you just saw Hydra just pinning them down, and for now they're going to be taking the warehouse here from the future, and all across the corners we're going to be seeing some visitors as well. Double A, they're going to be looking to pick up another fight against from the future.
Now we're also looking at Sharper Esports. They literally have already pinned down Buriram. Buriram is in such a situation where they don't even have enough utility to try to make a break for it or a smoke trail. They even lost their lone transportation here. So now the rest of Sharper Esports members, they're currently pushing in. They know there's only two members left. All they had to go for the flag and instantly Tino point to be fine connected. Try to follow with the double kill for himself, but gets tagged instead. He's a little bit down low. 13 HP, nades, smoke, utilities, all committed as well. He's trying to sustain for as long as possible, but sadly, even Eddie could not sustain long enough to contest it back. And sadly enough, Buriram, our last man, can he really do it for themselves yet?
Well, I guess that we're all cornered up, and those multiple flank angles coming from the side of Sharper Esports have been able to put Buriram United to sleep in the very first game. And this is a very big statement coming from Sharper Esports. Not only are they chasing the points, they say that, hey, I can take up the top dogs right now. And, well, that's going to be a beautiful ghillie suit that's gone on the way for Victim Rise's side. So maybe if they were to leave that survey compound, they could still go in proning for a little bit. Here comes the update for phase number 3, and we'll see where exactly will it head to. Majority of the teams right now are surrounding the edges of the Stauber Hills, and now Purple Moon will be taking the center of it all. LG Divine's going to be on the south side, while there's a little bit of trading back and forth coming in from the western side, where Gypsy has been spotted out. McSonus, after securing those break fracks against the likes of Buriram United, they have to make a move. Yes, they did get a couple of Ks on their side, but it's really a whole lot of commotion that will happen in a couple more minutes. And Long K, he'll be able to actually get that frag off. Meepansis is already out of the game, and 6 sacks. He did catch out Fergus in action.
Honestly, I'm just loving the fact. I was actually really worried for Sharper Esports, because if they were to push from their current location into the circle, they would have to contest with both Division X and even LG Divine. So I guess they made the right call, trying to pick out Division X first before proceeding in. And now Fury or Insight from Fury are trying to go for a couple of passes, trying to drop a number of players. However, Sophia from BAE, he heard the noises, he goes for the shot, he gets the nade on Flood. That's gonna be a beautiful nade, but sadly not close enough to really get the final kill on Flood. So Flood is definitely going to be able to live for another day here. However, now the location has already been revealed, and BAE
charging in.
They kept track. Here comes the breach as well. They kept track on that kill tracker as well. So they know that Fury is currently down by 3 members since Flood is still knocked out. Inside trying to hold on to his line for as long as possible. He finds one, but Loki's will clean things up, and Fury will be the 15th team here to be eliminated.
Well, I gotta say that it's an early tragedy for the side of Fury as we speak of it way early on. And Battle Arena Elites looking hungrier than ever. They've been dragging day in, day out, and this time starting things on a strong note here for the Battle Arena Elite side. So they should be able to pick up Sophia, and this is going to be the redeem code for you for the pickup challenge. You guys can predict who will be getting all these chicken dinners on board. Now, Battle Arena Elites, they're going to be running past those hills, trying to secure the Harry Potter Tower on their side, and perhaps they may be able to go in for a couple of pickups here, but Magic Esports, they're looking from the top side of the hill. They're not giving them any sort of good time at all, and who knows, they might just be able to get a lucky pick on through those windows.
I mean, and the thing is this as well. Like we see matches in esports, they have the high ground, they have the high elevation, and what's even better, they're already in the circle as well. Although they still have to prepare because we're about to enter the phase 5 circle very soon. Sharper Esports still trying to find their level. Although yes, they managed to get 2 kills off of DXG here, but there's still pressure between both of the teams because DXG still has the members. Now they're being pinched not just from 2 teams, but even from Victim Rise here on the other side.
Yeah, Timoy will be able to actually tap over onto the side of Loki's, and IQ 500 actually bleeds outside of the play zone. This is a little bit early for phase 4, but they punish them pretty hard, and members of the side of IQ 500's side has been suffering a whole lot, and Daytrade actually gets so much on the back with Team Ferox already eliminated in a blink of an eye. Over on the south side, it's going to be all these sort of vehicles being parked. There's not much way in, and it's going to be Angel Alliance dropping those frags in towards the side of Unicorn. That blue already down and out. That's the miracle kit that we've been hyping up about from the side of Vietnam, but he does not seem to be having any clearance. And this nade connects! Unicorn Cyber Dainang goes out in flames. Oh, another one comes right in. DXG in trouble. Chopper as well. And Division X will be the next one on the chopping block with Long K with a massive grenade.
Oh man, really well placed out coming from Sharper Esports as well. Although yes, it is kind of risk. It was quite the risk as well as they were actually trying to go against DXG with a 3v2 here, but they made it happen. They went for the breach. They got an opening. Now all they have to do is worry about LG Divine. Our Kerber's Esports applying a lot of pressure, but he made quite an amount of noise, and now he's getting backstabbed from behind by Hydra Gaming.
Oh no, it's an open field for the rest of the members of Cerberus to pick them up, and their days are numbered. Daytrade came right out in the open, and even Purple Moon wants a piece of the pie. Now LG Divine, after the coast is clear, they're looking for some members here in the fort of Sharper Esports. Out of nowhere, we are only down to 10 teams remaining in the span of 20 minutes. Namsi being a little bit careful here. He's got the UAZ here to just block things off. And same goes to Levi's. They can play it relatively slowly. They still have a little bit of the southern side to work with here. Well, Haisake with the big headshot on towards the lobby. Once again, great pick. And Magic, they are pretty much split apart here. I'm not too sure whether if they could or should they actually pick up the fight against Cerberus.
But anyway, Haisaki is still trying to push forward. It's not that whether they have to and whether they want to or not. They really have to take this fight. And he was pushing forward. Even Ma was able to find Haisaki and get the drop on him and punish him really hard here. Now Cabarrus, one-man shot. They have two more members in their team here, and we're looking at between a 2v3. A lot of noise and a lot of action has been happening, and none from Angel Alliance having a beautiful pickup on Sharper Esports. But same goes for LG Divine. And instantly, from both sides here, their nightmares came to life. They got gunning from all angles, and instantly they will be removed here as the 10 teams.
Oh my, it's going to be BAE as well as Victim Rise here on the Duke out, and it's Shibboleth that will be able to pick up Imuma as all three of these teams are pretty much sandwiched in between. Angel Alliance now in the prime spot, but let's see the update coming real shortly here. It might just actually move either ways, and it could benefit some of these teams here. Hydra playing safely from the top side, and it's Magic there popping off, and Victim Rise count their days off, and Valak really getting quite a number of substantial kills on the side of Magic. Now, pressure on for the side of LG Divine. With pretty much phase 6 still close by for them, they are not too worried But from the future, Triple X has already got themselves booked in towards the middle, and Gypsy Danger, he's already heard all these sort of noises being made, and they're the ones closest to be able to put a full stop to LG Divine Street.
It's still happening over to the other end of the circle as well. A lot of combat has been happening, and the Fahora was still able to beautifully get a nice sniping shot and even pick up a lot. Now they really lost half of their anchors here. Although yes, Tonke is still a danger at large here. BAE, our dear friend Neferhor, the last lone member, but LG Divine slowly pushing forward. But Neferhor, his sixth sense already kicked in. He knows someone is coming up. He has no idea which team, but he's slowly preparing. He's having his back against the Wizard Tower, so that way he only has to worry about what's happening in his front and the left and his flanks. Still waiting for the right timing, getting the scope in. He spots out Drew. He spots out JN here, but JN's still taking his time here. He's gonna be taking the chance. He's gonna be taking a color boosters, a couple of first aid kits here as well to quickly heal up as much as possible, potentially to fight this 1v4.
Well, I gotta say that he definitely would count his lucky stars that LG Divine chose not to push, but this is gonna be the straggling member out there. Oh, Neferhor does get that pickup, and he will be able to get that knock. Kill secured by the side of Battle Arena Elites. Wow, this one-man army is putting into work, but that nade's gonna be dropping real closely for the HHB on the side of Neferhor, and he needs to get himself prepared. But Tonke spots him out, easy pick him, and it will be magic that will put an end to Battle Arena Elite streak. They did finish on 7th, and respectively, quite a number of frags coming in the way for Battle Arena Elite. So definitely a good run for him, but the show's not over just yet. Magic now will be coming right by. Well, gotta correct myself. It's gonna be Hydra. They'll be moving alongside to face off against Angel Alliance. Angel Alliance will open things up with Evil Patrick with the nade. Now Mickey is being real sneaky here, but Tonke will be able to pick up one member down from the side of LG Divine.
Oh man, the combat is happening all over across the map as well. But Angel Alliance, they really want to secure this high ground as well. They do not want to be backstabbed once this phase 7 circle has been decided. So they're going to be trying to push forward step by step. They're throwing utilities, throwing flashbangs, grenades, trying to force Hydro Gaming out of position here. Instantly, there's the opening. Mad Dog finds one, go for the knock as well. And instantly, Hydro Gaming is instantly having one man down. They only have 2 men that's still fighting full capabilities here. But Nan still carefully and looking at the final circle, phase 7 circle here. LG Divine still playing around with the edges here. They learned from the past few days. They know that, all right, we're just going to play around the circle, the very edges. We don't have to focus on the center.
Hold up here, as we do have Mad Dog receiving vital information on towards members of the side of Hydra over on towards the bottom. So they're trying to keep them away, and just moments coming from afar to be able to pick up Tonke as the last remaining member of the side of Magic. Now 5 more teams on board, Mad Dog as well as Nan. They got a couple of frags already, but they're just waiting for the right moment to just pass right through. Nan knows that the coast is not clear, as they'll be keeping some sights in. They already spotted Nan on towards his shoulder, and Mad Dog now have to deal with the situation here. Just moments, pick up the final member of the side of From the Future, and this is going to be your last stand. The 4 teams remaining. It's going to be Hydra, Angel Alliance, Purple Mood, and right down below, oh my goodness, look at the control coming from the side of Mickey. It's a backstab coming from Mad Dog. He says, sit down right here. I'm going to get that quote 2K in the back. But 3 HP left is getting a couple of taps right down from below. And this is definitely going to be the huge danger coming across it. Jan! Get all of these on the kill charts. And man, it's Angel Alliance down towards Nan.
I love what LG Divine is doing. They've been playing around the edges this time. They changed up their strat. And what's even better, they're taking full advantage of the situation that's currently around them, going for pickup. However, Tuan Robo pushes forward, finds Levine here, knocks him down, and they're still going forward. However, JN, he wants that revenge. He wants that. He's out for blood. He gets Tuan Robo. Gets to drop them in the Hydro Gaming instantly gets removed from play as Purple Moon coming from the other end and will steal that kill point for themselves and not allowing LG Divine to get any more points for themselves. LG Divine quite in a decent situation. They have six kill points right now, and they're actually in the top 3. So regardless of whether they get winning with the chicken dinner or not,
oh boy.
Oh, by the way, that was a beautiful nade coming in. Double nades coming in from all the teams, and Rocky James will seal Angel Alliance fate here. And now we're looking between a 1v1 between Purple Moon and LG Divine.
Well, it's 3 versus 2 in this sort of situation with Purple Moon having a little bit of advantage here. And with that, they do have a couple of angles to cover coming from the Stalbert Hills. He does get a little bit of peek, and Rocky Chips unleashes all these sort of the sprays right down below. It's going to be Nowsy here coming in with the taps, and Jan will be dropped on the floor, leaving only one member behind for the side of LG Divine. And there's nothing much that they can do. The attacks coming from different side of the angle at just moments. He won this to be the final moment. And it's Los Santos coming in for the taps. Not enough to actually finish him off, but he's still charging right in with the SLR. He's coming really closely. Not much time for heal-ups, but that nade dropping directly in towards the vehicle. It might just be the final bang here, but now he just goes in towards the cover. Just a moment, we'll be able to find a kill on towards JN, and it will be the flames burning in towards the corners here. He's still surviving, but not for long. Purple Moon will open up the A4 install, getting the chicken dinner with 8 cracks on board.
Woo, man. Purple Moon Esports, one of the new teams that was actually coming into PCS3 APAC for literally the last PCS of this year. And what's even better, the fact that they definitely didn't have the best beginning. Actually, they had the roughest beginning. Actually, it is such a tough lobby for them. In the first weekend, or the first 2 days here, they didn't really manage to call themselves out of that bottom 3. However, in yesterday's game, they stepped up. They got quite a number of kill points, and they slowly got out of that bottom 3. And now here in day number 4, they got the winner with the chicken dinner. They denied LG Divine once again their sixth chicken dinner, which they could possibly try to get for themselves to solidify their scores in literally in the second week of the PC3.
Yep, I gotta say, Purple Moon Esports making a resurgent comeback. Back in the days, they were one of the top dogs hailing from Thailand, and now they're reclaiming glory once again. Great work. Let's check out some of the highlights of the game. Starting off with BAE here, Sophia with a magnificent spray to pick up the first blood, and Royal United, they were caught in between by Unicorn Cyber Danang, but both of these teams received the short end of the stick when Sharper Esports arrived to the scene, and this was magnificently done. Look at all these sort of nade drops as well as Molotov to be able to clear them out, and same goes towards the side of Fury. They did pick up a fight against BAE, but of course, with less man advantage, they couldn't really do all too much.
You know, honestly, like I was just feeling a little bit sad. Feels a little bit bad for Fury, for Team Fury and Buriram, because they were multiple times they were in such a situation where they always kept getting picked off. They tried to change the strat this time. They tried to actually get to the center of the circle because they know the positioning of the circle during the phase 2 stage was actually near the open land. So there's not really much compounds or really much covers you can actually try to go for. That's why they took a gamble. They tried to get all the way to the high elevation mountains and cliffs there, at least that way they can have better cover, but they kept getting picked off here. But either way, this is your match leaderboards.
Yep, and Purple Moon Esports topped the board here for the first game of the day, and it's 18 points on their side, 12 points for LG Divine with 6 frags. Angel Lions comes in with 6 for themselves, but 11 points to book that round, and Magic with 10. Gotta say, these are real great numbers coming in for the top 4, and Battle Arena Elites come by closely with that 7 frag they picked up all across the map, and same goes to Hydra with 8 points as well, Sharper with 5, 4 for Cerberus Esports, and From the Future will be able to garner 4 points on the table for their efforts. And great stuff. We hope to see even more coming in from Buriram Fury as well as Ferox, as this has been pretty much a short stint for them as they've been picked off way too early in this map, and Purple Moon really executed it perfectly. They came in from the Stalbert Hills and they had that perfect elevation to pick on LG Divine. Though LG Divine, we saw them being in the center of the circle, both of the map plays that they've been playing across, and gotta say that they have been able to book in towards a really good spot, but to finish the game off, they were only down to 2 members remaining, and Purple Moon really took their chances and not letting it slide for another time, because back then, Purple Moon, back in Arangel, in The first weekend, we saw them coming pretty closely, but they got shut out by the side of LG Divine. Now, adding up the scores, it's still LG Divine on top of the board with 133, really putting a big gap for Buram United Esports as well as Fury to fill up.
I mean, it's definitely very punishing for both Buriram and Fury as well, because they had that one window of opportunity, that window of hope for themselves here to actually try to overwhelm LG Divine when the gap was actually pretty close here. But because they fell super early in that first map in day number 4 here, it was more punishing instead of relieving for them here, literally increasing the gap all the way back, not to 30 points anymore. This is currently 31-point gap difference here. So Buriram definitely has a lot of work, and including same goes for Fury as well. A lot of work for both of these teams to work out here to really capture to LG Divine here, who's currently still in the top of the leaderboard here. However, I still think the most surprising thing for now, when just look at this leaderboard, it's going to be Purple Moon Esports here. Not only were they able from yesterday game able to get a lot of kill points for the team, they managed to get their first chicken dinner, and that's going to elevate them all the way from 15th place to 11 here. They're no longer the bottom 3 here. I know a lot of people has been saying that Purple Moon and even Team Frax is probably the X factor here, like literally the dark horse for the PCS3 that is going to be delivering or becoming a huge nuisance for some of the teams who's trying to contest with the top 3, and now they're fully showcasing their powers here as being quite irritating for some of the teams here. However, Team Ferex, really sad that we haven't seen some amazing plays by them. Some cool pickoffs for sure, yes, but they always still get it picked off around like the second last team, or even the 15th team here. So it's just really sad to see that they haven't been delivering as much as we were hoping ever since watching their gameplay since PCS2.
That's right, and I gotta say that the biggest winners coming in for this first round, of course, not only Purple Moon gets themselves rising up and towards the middle standings, we also saw Battle Arena Elites really extending themselves in
Mm.
towards better position, and not forgetting LG Divine, second place finish, still a great news for them, finishing up real strong in this very first map of day 1. So we'll be moving in towards our next run inside Arangel again, and we'll see perhaps a different sort of the play style being brought forward by all the 16 teams on board. But I'm liking what I'm seeing here. This is just
Hmm.
the sort of the early serving of this sort of chicken dinner that we see coming from Purple Mood, and once again, they have been able to deliver. And with that, of course, we want to also thank all the ones who are bringing us this magnificent place, and that's
Yep.
definitely in courtesy of PUBG Corporation, KNK Revolution, Cause and Effect, and not
Hmm.
forgetting Geek Events for presenting us all the glories of all these chicken dinner. And with that being said, my name is Contra, as well as Yoli, joining on the commentary desk, and we'll be coming back shortly for our upcoming matchup inside of Erangel. Do stay tuned.
Hi, I am Matt Lee, also known as Ronan. I play for Fury, and I am representing Australia in PCS3.
My name is Juxi. I currently play for Battle Arena Elites, and although I reside in Australia, we're representing Malaysia, Singapore, and PCS3. PUBG.
Damn.
Our angle is 8 by 8 kilometers.
PUBG. Severny, Yasnaya, Rozhok, North Georgia Pole, or Georgia Pole in general, Primorsk, Pachinki, Milta. PUBG. Is that a question, or is that a...
It's not a question, man.
Why is... we actually love Milta. I just love the layout of Milta. I just think the best players loot there. It's very fun to fight. I actually love contesting there. It's probably one of my best places to contest.
Anywhere but Milta. There's just too many good players that loot there, and I don't really... There's too many good players that loot there, and I'm really just not interested in fighting early against those sort of really exceptionally skilled players. PUBG. Okay, so Lipovka, Rozhok, Milta, Gatka. What's that other one? And the top right.
Fairy Pier.
Fairy Pit, top right one. Top right one. Hit me with the right. Huh? Kameshki. And Milta Power.
Oof.
Okay, that'll
Good
do.
job.
I'll take that. I'll take 5.
PUBG. What's that Russian place called? Or not the Russian, but the nuclear bomb thing. Chernobyl. PUBG. I don't even know how much per map. That's a very. I didn't follow every 24 games. I'm gonna say us. Oh, Fury. Oh, actually,
Might be
no.
Divine.
We were Miramar. No, it was Divine. It'd be Divine. Divine
Yeah.
sucked on Miramar. We did good on Miramar. So Divine. And I'm gonna guess 8.8.
Well, if it's not Divine, then it would have had to be Fury. I'm gonna guess 8.8.
Really?
Get stuffed. No way.
So much you drop on Minas. Minas is my second favorite place to drop.
Alrighty, guys. That's it from me, Jukesy. Just want to let you all know that I'm a geographer, and for all of you to watch PCS3.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to vote Fury because this time we're actually going to win and hopefully win a game as well.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người, mình là APK. Mình tên là Nguyễn Bảo Khánh, mình đến từ team Division Gaming và mình đến từ Việt Nam.
Tên in game của mình là IQ 500. Tên thật là Nguyễn Cao Hưng. Mình đến từ team Division Gaming. PUBG, Divide với lại Cerberus là team có mặt trong tất cả các giải APAC hiện nay. Vì hai cái tên đầu tiên là quá nổi bật ở trong nước rồi. Với lại Buriam thì
Yeah, and my dear friend Contra once again muted again. Can't hear you,
All
my
right,
brother.
so sorry about that. Yep, I'm back. So apologies for that, and thanks for the reminder, Yodel. And for those of you guys who are tuning in, this is the PUBG Continental Series APAC. And of course, we'll be hopping in towards our top damage dealers of the previous round, and it's just moment with a huge number of frags that comes in with 585 damage being done. MacDot comes right in with 509 himself on second place, and Tonke of Magic Esports will fill all this sort of damage with 437 on board, tying it up with Sharper Esports 6 sacks, and not forgetting Nan to have been able to survive pretty long alongside with Mad Dog to be able to be on that top 3 finish. So with that, we'll be looking at the top kills later on as well. And for those of you guys who are watching, all this is brought to you by PUBG Corporation. And also, big shout out to Geek Events, K&K Revolution, as well as Cause and Effect for this magnificent show. So far, we've seen a massive performance coming in from the side of Purple Mood in this very opening round of Erangel. We'll be
Right.
moving in towards another real soon. And YOLO Lee, we are definitely in for a treat.
I mean, it's definitely a real treat for us as well because, like, if we just want, like, just to do a quick recap of what actually happened in the last game. Sure, don't get me wrong, Purple Moon, really great job, but the fact that you guys got the chicken dinner for themselves here. But what I really think that actually allowed Purple Moon to really elevate themselves into such an advantage situation was that the fact that Tong K was actually from Magic Esports. They were doing significant amount of damage to LG Divine. He was getting drops, he was forcing them to use utility, break armors, break helmets, and of course Tong K got picked up by Purple Moon before they actually pushed all the way towards LG Divine. They still had the higher ground, they had better elevation, better cover as well, and they were able to just punish LG Divine and fully capitalize every situation that was given to them when it started. And it all started with having that beautiful circle shift in their favor.
That's right. And now looking at this brand new flight path here, this is definitely going to be a lot more favorable for most of the teams that are dropping in towards the central region here, coming in from the eastern side all the way up towards the sharp west. We'll be seeing pretty much an even ground terrains for them to work with. Unicorn Cyber Da Nang, they are actually sending their members all across the fields of Gatka, and one of them being very close by towards the Pachinki region, so they have to be really careful with that. And for Cerberus, they'll be taking the scrap loose coming in from the far west side of Farm, and Fury hoping to recuperate from that early loss that they have suffered. And with that, we'll be looking in towards our very first phase appearing real soon. 3 teams pretty much by the corners of Sanaska military base, and it will be pretty much another field to be played out by LG Divine, having a lot of room to play. Yasnaya's absolutely open, and they are taking the center of shelter for the moment. So going in for repositioning as Purple Mood, our winners for our round number 13, has been on the move, having a quick loot coming from Kapovka, as it will be them securing those vehicles foremost.
I mean, definitely for sure, and I just want to remind everyone again, just looking from the map, which was we saw from the circle, it was heading towards the northern east side here. We're going to be expecting major rotation once again for the majority of this team. However, because of the flight path that we were actually witnessing, which was towards the southern side from the east to the west, a lot of teams will also realize that the fact that we're going to be running into a lot of teams here. Yes, a lot of teams want to play around the edges here, but because of where the teams actually drop, whether it is going to be at Farm or Milta or even Pochinki, which is pretty much the edge of the circle here, there are teams like Fury, Angel Alliance, From the Future, and even, if I'm not mistaken, Day Trade as well. They're going to be having a rough time passing through these areas because not only does the teams that draw at Pochinki, Farm, Milta have covers, but it's at the very edge of the circle, so they will be able to punish a majority of these teams when they go for this rotation into the center.
Absolutely agree, and of course, coming from the western end, it's going to be pretty much of a long sort of the rotation for them to be making their mark. And now that there's going to be a lot of open plains to be played out, either it's going to be the shelter grounds or even the mansion to be left out in the open, they got to book their spot real soon, or else they'll have to slowly take the sort of the corners of the west to be able to make it pass through most of all these sort of teams. Now, LG Divine has got the Cornani K on hand, and it's going to be a little bit of the long taps coming through, while we see June taking in towards the outskirts of Yasnaya Fields, and June right now will be leading the kill proportion of LG Divine with the 7-1K that he's garnered throughout the rest of the rounds. And we heard so many of all these shots coming across, and it's still going to be pretty much a test run for them. I guess June just wants to say that, hey guys, this is my territory. You did not trespass any moment at all. But Sharper, they're pretty much close by towards the school areas, and Kim Siva's still going to be the top damage dealer on the charts.
I mean, definitely always, because you must understand at the same time, Kim Silva, he has always been loving all these DMRs, all these spammable sniper rifles. if you would have to give him a choice between an M24 and an M14, he's definitely going to be taking the latter here. He likes those spamble snipers. He likes to go for picks. And let's be honest, he rarely misses a shot here. Sure, he may not be able to get kills most of the times, but if you're talking about knockdowns, pick-offs, punishing skirmishers, then yes, he's doing a lot of damage in this game here.
Absolutely, and we saw that being displayed in the past round where Sharper absolutely obliterated the side of Brum United, really dented their
Yes.
hopes to be able to overtake the light of the ones on top of the ladder, which is going to be LG Divine with 133 as of the current, and this time, Sharper Esports, they're actually not too far away from the vicinities of LG Divine. Now, Battle Arena Elites have already left Milta, cutting across the shelter side. There's ample space that they can pick up here if they want to go towards the corners of prison. That's absolutely fine as well. But they are driving further and further in, and this is where Buram United might actually butt in with a couple of taps of their own as Battle Arena Elites enters the LG Divine territory. And for Ferox, this is still going to be a little bit of a sticky situation for them. LG Divine, they got a lot of fish to fry here.
I mean, definitely for sure. And just look at all the rotation coming in from BAE and even Team Ferox. They are having the very similar mindset right now, which is just pretty much do not go to any nearest compound that we see. We already set a course, we already set our destination. We want to go to either Yasnaya or at least a little bit more towards the north, like Stalber or even Severny, because the circle is slowly havering towards the northern side. And remember, it's still phase 1 of the circle. Anything can happen here. So some of the teams, especially like LG Divine, who's currently very central about this, they're still gambling and hoping for the fact that the circle will still come towards more to the central part of the map instead of going to the northern side here. But this is pretty much the gamble that all this team is currently facing here. So some of the teams here will be starting to go for the rotation towards this northern side, and that's going to be allowing LG Divine, like you said, going to be going fishing for barrels there.
Oh boy, it's Hanke just rotating with that sort of bike that he has on hand, but he's definitely not looking to stop anytime soon, and that will pretty much be a death wish. Now, Angel Alliance having a peculiar rotation coming in from Milta Power just by the edge of the mainlands itself, and now MG, they're crashing right in. They did spot Jan, and Jan, only 20 HP left, is just going to be picked off right here if he does not drive any further than that. And with all those bullets flying up in the air, Tanke still running him right through. There's no time to put on those brakes, and Tanke goes in to try to tap him off, and that spray will not be able to connect anytime soon. But LG Divine really have to take a big breather right here, and Jan goes back to the helping arms, but Subang has spotted out the other 2 members of LG Divine right on top of the hill.
This is actually a lot of information that Subang is actually really giving to the team. So not only do they really have the high ground as well, they're also keeping track of the amount of members. But if they're not too careful, because right now Unicorn is currently breaching here, and I think they finally noticed the fact that, hey, we got Cerberus on the run. However, Cerberus, lucky enough, they're already in their vehicles, so they are sort of had a head start here, and they should be able to avoid any conflict with Unicorn Cyber Danang for the moment.
Wow, just look at the territorial control coming in from majority of these teams. FTF are playing it relatively slowly, still tanking the first phase itself. Fury looking to pass this on phase 2 as they are also waiting it out. But Puchu, I'm not too sure what's the kind of goal that he's looking for inside of the island, but he's pretty much separated apart from the rest of the members of Day Trade now on the southern side. So they still have pretty much of a journey for them to just take themselves a place to call home. But over on towards the Yasnaya fields, we are already seeing so many teams already booking their slots for the next run. So 10 more seconds for phase 1 to absolutely close, and we'll see a little bit of the update, and I'm pretty sure that we'll see a hectic bout coming towards phase 3.
Whew, very hectic indeed. This phase 2, oh my lord. So a lot of the gambles which coming from some of these teams here has came to light. It has moved towards the northern end part of the map here. Now, and the worst part, can you see just from the map alone how consolidated the majority of the teams are? So they're definitely going to be running into each other here. There's going to be a lot of teams that's going to be fighting with each other here, or at least try to start a skirmish here, everyone has to pick their tracks and their route really carefully here. Because like right now, for example, we saw LG Divine, he instantly stopped his car and it's like, you know what, I want to try to go for a pickup here. He stopped midway, trying to go for the run now, and here comes Nordra from Buriram. He did cover a couple of tags as well. However, Victor Rise on the other side, Gen Force, he managed to find Muti here from Team Ferex and instantly bursted him down while he was trying to go for his rotation towards the circle.
Yeah, and unfortunately, when he crashed in towards the satellite tower, it seems like a death trap as it's already been set up. And right now, Battle Arena leads did spot out Sweet Soul, and none of them have guns to spare as they are taking their hands on Will. But Sweet Soul, he switched over, did a K-Mine, and he knocks out Juxi, fellow Oceanic player out there, now having no rescue coming in from the side of Battle Arena leads. And Sweet Soul, yep, K-Mine his way to secure his very first kill, and that will be pretty much Battle Arena leads needing to still find a spot as they are all over the place, and V-Rock still having a little bit more of the troubles as Division X Gaming. They've been hiding right by the corners here, right between the terrains, to be able to actually get a couple of pickups. But Ocufarmer, they also get another in the form of Loki's BAE, 2-man down.
What a spray down, and BAE not having the best time of their life. I did mention it before as well. A lot of teams are going to be picked off while doing their mid rotations here, and BAE is definitely getting punished really hard. Losing not just Juxi, but even Loki's as well. 2 members off the bat. Very similar to what Fury was. Very similar situation to what Fury was in the previous map, in the previous game here. But however, Fury still living strong, still living large here, with having 4 members. And this is and the fact remains at Buriram and Fury. They know the significance of this game right now, because now in this case here, every game, every match counts, because right now we're pretty much 13 maps out of the 13 games out of the 24 games here. We're pretty much halfway through the PCS3 here. So now the game starts pressuring Buriram and Fury, who is trying to catch up to LG Divine. They have a lot of work to cut up for them, because from 19-point gap difference, they have to come up with 31.
That's an AW in the hands of Fury as well, so that's definitely going to be a big pickup for the Oceanic side, while Cerberus will be still taking the corners of the hills. And I gotta say, at least Fury did learn their lesson from that previous bout back in game 1 of day 4, and now Rain's going to be able to tap a little bit towards the side of Victim Rise, as this is going to be getting another update. Fury taking Rozak Edge as a checkpoint, and now they have to drive past the side of Sharper as well as Victim Rise, and Insight's going to be the one front running, and then gets a big pickup. Subang getting caught off guard as well, and Evil Patrick's the next one to fall, with pretty much Solozzi here getting him picked up here. But Mickey, coming from far, will be able to steal the kill away from LG Divine. Valax goes down.
Now majority of the team trying to go for the rotation right now towards the edge, but it's so difficult because the rotation route, or the route that's being used, is very common. However, Mad Dog is going to be able to find a beautiful kill on Basil, gets a drop, follows up with another spray down from Nan to see if he can get another member of Cerberus here, but unfortunately he was only able to tag as he runs away.
Yeah, I gotta say, members of South Angel Alliance, they are actually punishing every one of all these teams that are cutting by the edges, and Cerberus still wants to bring in the pain. They want to avenge their fallen teammates here, and Flood's gonna be popping in a couple of all these utilities inside of this Shack, and Inside tries to go in for the entry frag here. Victim Rise now being pushed in towards the top corner. It's Chimoy's coming in from the back as well. He's going in for the flank, and he will be able to connect a couple of all these shots. However, Victim Rise, the duty is not done just yet. Gen Foss now setting things up, trying to blind a little bit of sight here as Fury Block Horns goes head to head, just by the corner of the door. Oh, he does spot him out. Inside gets one. Gen Foss, oh, it's gonna be rolled out here with the big pickup. Kamals goes down, instantly being deleted from the map. Fury does get that one kill in the back, but it is still not clear just about yet. Shipwreck coming from the outskirts here, getting tagged just a little bit. Sophia's gonna be able to knock down Solozzi, as Sophia also gets punished by just moments. Nefer will be able to nake down Solozzi.
Oh man, Neferhor's got to be really quick about it as well because let's be honest, he's literally stuck between
Whoa!
three teams. Whoa, Neferhor! Spraying down Haizaki for the mid-range distance here and even getting a kill out of it. Despite the sticky situation he was actually in, he's still able to get the trade-offs here. So that's really cool coming out from Ballerina Elite from Malaysia here. They are not out of this
Wow.
game yet.
Yeah, I gotta say that spray down was something to watch. It's not easy to pull off, especially on the moving vehicle itself. LG Divine, though, very interesting moves coming in from Levi's here, that he is just repositioning back in towards the same sort of spot that they had in the first game, and they are hoping that this circle is going to be benefiting them once again. They did lose out a tire. Thanks so much to the production crew out there to be able to spot out all these sort of fine details. And LG Divine, like I said, same spot like they did back in the previous game, but who knows, it might just be a very different scenario. Now, Fury getting tags after tags coming from the side of Magic as well. Sulabi unleashing a little bit of the bullets over on towards their end, but Tankei now will be looking to find some lucky taps off. This is going to be the pick and challenge codes for you to grab, and make sure you do it real quick. Fearox, FTF, DXG, as well as BAE. They're in the running to book the upcoming phases to come.
Honestly, just looking from the map itself, Day Trade is definitely going to be having a better rotation into the circle, especially around the edge as well, because there's not really much contention here. Although, yes, there is Sharper Esports, but Sharper Esports is only having one man left. The one man, he's trying to hold on the line, and he's surrounded by multiple enemies. He's literally, although, yes, he knows the Day Trade is still fully healthy here. He has to pick his positioning when he wants to go for this rotation, since he's the lone man and there's not really much cover, and he doesn't have the vehicle advantage to himself here. I'm a little bit more concerned for Fury, but Fury doing significant amount of damage. However, right, you're gonna be really quick about it. But Long K and one Kikimoka not allowing them to get to the shed without any cover at all. They managed to knock out one man, but Steve Boy, he's trying to do his best to run into the shaft here. Thank God for the smokes, but Chibro easily gets picked up and knocked down by Long K, followed by Name C from LG Divine here. All actions, all punishing from all angles here. Victim Rise will instantly get removed and eliminated at the 15 team in this match 2 of day number 4.
And the big date actually dropped right there, and it's gonna be a big blast here coming in from LG Divine. Wipes out the entirety of Magic Esports in the blink of an eye. Jude once again strikes on the towards the corner. That Blue now suffering a little bit of his shots. He's now bleeding out. Best needs to actually pick him up with enough of all of these covers. They won't be able to go in for the rescue, but the EXG, they'll keep their eyesights on towards members inside of LG Divine. Right on top of the hill, it's going to be Purple Mood here securing a little bit of these coverage of the vantage point, but Buriram also trails right behind them. But the news is that Buriram, they don't exactly have the next phase on top of them, so they have to find a low sort of leeway here to cut in towards the eastern side. But Rabbit Zan, he does get that headshot straight towards the side of Ronan, and that's going to be spelling bad news for Fury Australia.
Oh man, it's definitely not fun for him at all, because like I said before this as well, Fury is not in a situation where they're actually really safe just yet. Their rotation route is very common to the majority of these teams, and the worst part, a majority of these teams that actually rotated into the circle or to the edge at least not only have better cover, they have higher elevation. And Fury, they're still driving in. They can't pick out their guns. I mean, they can do for the seat swap here to do a classic play here, but that's not going to be good enough, because right now, Division X Gaming here, they're very comfortable in their compound. All they need to do is just go for picks. They need to punish. And I don't think Fury wants to use a majority of their utility just to get closer to Fury. I think their only option is possibly just really go. They can take a gamble and run straight to the center of the circle once phase 5 circle has been decided, or they can try to take the contest and breach into Division X Gaming.
It's going to be a little bit of trades coming in from the side of Day Trade as well as the side of Angel Alliance, but Fury, so far, they've been sweeping by the edge, coming in from the southern side, phase by phase. They're taking it rather strategically, but the XG definitely going to be a tough point for them to actually contest for the moment. And LG Divine, they find some picks here in the form of Fury as they drive right by. Levi's now down with those bullets. He's going for the reloads here, but Fury then backing in right in towards this small little shack. This is not the place to rest. And Nancy unleashes everything that they have. Insight's gonna be the first one to be out from the side of Fury, and all 3 members of Fury right now remaining. They are just stuck in this small little hut with nothing to work with. We expect all the towers of the Dacia to be punctured eventually, but good news is that they are definitely going to be well and alive for now. Boston's now gets the knock towards the side Connexi from across the screen, and for LG and Bot, he's just going to be keeping his eyes closely towards Daytrade.
Ooh, however, see a couple of contestants as well as LG Divine. They made a little bit too much noise as they were trying to go for the spray down, and Buri Ram on the roll as they not only were they fighting against LG Divine, but they're also fighting against Hydra Gaming. And Neferhor, despite being one of the 2 members remaining for BAE, he's still able to get another kill out of the carnage. And even
and it's gonna be Sophia right there. That's a big date over the side of the Rapid Sand, and Los Santos immediately drop right there. This is gonna be a big connection coming in. Good use. Does soak in a whole lot, but Evil Patrick, he's got no helmets left, and the armor is pretty much broken out. But Nat, get that connection in towards Daytrade, and Evil Patrick trying his luck as well. Battering in the leads goes down 13th, but now Fixit are on the side of Angel Lines because they might just be able to punish. He spots him out. Evil Patrick secures it. Daytrade. They bit too much more than they get to. Now, over on towards Fnatica. What can he do this time?
Ooh, I mean, definitely, he's not in a rough spot at all. Norins from Daytrade, one of his members, Norins, had the right idea as well. He told himself, I can't get out of this situation. I'm definitely going to die. I might as well kill myself instead of giving or donating that additional kill point to Angel Alliance here. He can try to do the same idea, but I don't think he has the nades for it. So possibly he can try to go for that placement point, but that's definitely going to be very difficult for him. But Buri Ram getting eliminated away as they were actually, while during the rotation, they were contesting between Hydra Gaming, LG Divine, and even Fury. They were being hit from all 3 angles, so it was very unfortunate for Buri Ram. So they will not be able to try to get any placement points at all.
Yeah, they were trying to punish the members of LG Divine, and speaking of LG Divine, they're the next one to fall as well. Hydra really putting in a whole lot of damage out there, and they will be able to stop the top dogs from getting even more points. So whoever's remaining on the map definitely have a little bit of the pressure lifted off their chests, it's Evil Patrick right in the open as well. Angel Alliance, they need to go in for the save as Aaron will be able to get some great sort of peaks. They're running in towards the smoke, but this is definitely not going to be a good leverage for Nautical. Punish him once again, and seems like the ties are definitely going to be...
Is being really satisfied about it. They took the gamble, which I was saying that one of the few options which they can take. They took the latter. They decided to run past the majority of this team. Although yes, they did lose Insight, but they still managed to get a decent position here. Not the best, of course, but they have to make do with what they got here. However, Division X Gaming, they have to get into the circle, and now they're having the back end of the wall here, because now they're getting hammered by Waki Mukau, and even with the rest of the team, they're gonna crash into the tree. They have to make use of what cover they have, and he's gonna find a drop, knocks down IQ 500, and Daytrade from Venetica. He's not in the game out of the game at all. The last man for Daytrade, he's still trying to get some kills for the team.
He squeezed that bullet right under the CO just in the right moment when he just landed, and that itself was quite a play coming from Yukika Mukau. Yes, he might have lost a little bit of the health coming in from the hit, but look at DXG. They're being torn apart, and they picked by Yukika. Oh, he does it again! A lost out of pass. This is a free range shooting coming from Yukika. He does secure the kill. FTF also chips in with a little bit of pickup for himself as well. Now, DXG down towards 2 members left. Now, with the nades flying right in, it's the bad news! And kaboom! Goes running, and Twan Rubbo really wants to shove it right in. All the vehicles all flying up in the air, and you can see the smokes all flying. And they are not stopping just about now. Honorable now going for the push. It's going to be flushing every one of them out. There's no time for revival, but just moments will be able to pick up Honorable. And Purple Mood is actually saving Fury Australia right now. Yakika right outside. He is going to go in for the save. He does not want to leave any man behind. And Mickey now the last man remaining for Hydra.
Really the saving grace for Fury. Purple Moon stepping up, allowing Fury to survive a little bit longer. However, the coordination coming from Hydra Gaming was actually really great with the nades coming with the timings as well. They managed to actually get the knockdown, but just unfortunately, Purple Moon just had to get in the way. And with the current circle, Fury is very happy with what they got here. However, Waikika Moon now going to be finding on, goes for the tag, did a significant amount of damage. Sadly, would not be able to get the knockdown, but he has to be careful. Because right now he's being surrounded from all ends here, and Division X, they're not out of the game just yet. They still have 2 more members, and they're actually at the south side of Fury.
I just gotta say this right now, because Fury absolutely got themselves saved once again, because Hydra, they were planning the attack, and all of that being suppressed, not only by the side of DXG, but Hydra was also pinned down by the side of Purple Mood. With that, there's going to be the circle just by the edge for Fury, but escaping that shack is going to be a trouble for themselves. Hexagon spots out Nalty from way afar. The 2 remaining members of the side of DXG got to crawl right in, and as much as they want to, they couldn't really do so. Hexagon, get that pickup. There's no time for him to go in for the save. And now, running for his life, it's going to be IQ 500. He tries to chip in as well. Klee with the SKS. He does see a little bit of pixel right across. Hexagon secures the kill over the Nalty as well. Now, this is not going to be any good at all. He's going to run for his life. Getting a little bit covered by the Cia, but UNC, they will see a little bit of damage coming from FTF as well. And from the future, they're marching right in. This is the top 5 moment out there, and Flood goes in for the pickup. UNC in trouble as they get eliminated by the rest of FTF of Indonesia.
Dude, from the future, stepping up here in match 14, day number 4, match number 2 here. Absolutely insane. They have a total, they're on a killing spree right now. 10 kills on their belt in this game alone. However, Fury, they gotta be careful as well. Ronan doesn't really have that much meth on him left either. Not much utilities to say about it.
1 HP.
Wiki, yeah, scratch that.
Jinxed him.
0
I jinxed him. I jinxed him right there, and the coast is not clear for them just about yet. But for the moment, this top 4 situation, you see pretty even grounds. Now FTF does find 1 man down, 6 win here. Will be able to get that pickup right in the middle of the open. Make that 3 versus 3 versus 3 versus 3, and still equal grounds for all 4 teams for that chicken dinner. But with that sort of circle moving a little bit further away from Fury as well as Purple Mood, they're hoping to actually get a couple of K before going in for that further commitment. But FTF, they're putting all the smokes in. They want to stop Fury from coming inwards, and Furox will be enjoying the entire northern section all for themselves.
Oh man, it's definitely gonna be a rough run for them, because right now Fury doesn't really have vehicles or even enough smokes to make a smoke trails literally efficient enough for them to get to the next part of the zone or even to the next cover. It's literally like we're looking from a third person point of view, and it's all flat areas. There's no trees, there's no stones. They have to take a gamble. They have to sidestep this all the way. But 2 members instantly get knocked down. Now Fury being punished. They are furious about this, but they can't do anything about it. But he tells himself, if I'm going to go down, I'm at least going to be trying to do as much damage as possible. He did. He couldn't get the knockdown. But unfortunately, Fury will fall off here as the 4th team. And only 3 teams remain in this match.
I gotta say, it's really commendable for Fury at the very least. Finishing on 4th, and now Rocky Teams will be picked up nice. And man, Sweet Soul, he didn't really see that one coming. Mipan's is just trying to straight back. He spots out the rest of Purple Mood, but FTF, 3-man stacked upon this tree as well as a couple of all these UAZs. In between P-Rocks as they are taking each one of these corners. We're moving in towards Phase 9 in a short bit as there's not going to be much time. It's going to shrink all the way in towards the middle, and the ones that are the closest is going to be Purple Mood out there. Now going for the revival. And Rocky Gyms, so far, doing quite a number of damage. Ferox has to leave the compounds, and they won't be comfortable doing so for the moment. Hexagon Koi's in to push towards the other side of the tree, and they are marching right through to find a couple of all these kills towards the side of Purple Moon. And Ferox now going in for the setup. A whole lot of smokes being expended.
Oh,
He punches and goes
no.
down by Rocket Jims, getting that hit shot.
Oh my lord, this is gonna be a really tough battle as well. Not much utilities left on either side of this team here. It's literally gonna be coming down to those pickoffs. How are Team Friends gonna be able to find one here? Ring, he goes to the tag, but gets tagged instead all the way down to 45 HP. He has to fall back. He has to heal. Purple Moon, very confident.
Oh boy!
A beautiful nade! Instantly getting rid of FPM Hexagon here. And from the future will be eliminated from this match number 2, and now we're looking for a classic Mexican standoff between Ferox and Purple Moon.
It's a 3 versus 3 right now. A couple more nades being expended. That's going to be a Molotov right in towards the open field. And Purple Moon, they can only wait out for this sort of smokes, and there's not much left. And they are looking for the corners. They're dropping right in towards the middle, and Sixrin and the rest of Team Ferox, they're hoping to be able to find a good pick. They are separating themselves in towards 3 different corners. Same goes to the side of Rocky Jim as well. Now being blinded for a little bit. All the stun grenades is doing some wonders. And now Rocky Jim does spot one out. He's been rallying up all these sort of commotion. And just moments, he gets all the view, but he will be picked up as well. Now Rocky Jim's doing all the dirty work. He is looking for the final member remaining. Sixrin with only 10 HP left. It's now or never. He's got to make it a clutch. And it might be a 2 in a row for Purple Moon Esports. What a comeback from Thailand!
Absolutely insane! Purple Moon, what is going on here? They went on full steroids here in the last day of the weekends here, the second weekend here, and by far, I can proudly say this, that now they got 2 chicken dinners in a row here. And right now, they're slowly elevating themselves up. I'm excited to see what is the total leaderboard right now, because previously, before they got their first chicken dinner, they were actually in the 13th place. 1 chicken dinner and 10 kills. They elevate to the 8th place. Can you imagine in this game where they had similar results? I wouldn't be surprised if they flew the top 5 here. The new team who was actually debuting for the first time here in the PCS. They actually had the roughest of spots here, roughest of beginnings here in such a tough lobby. And now in the second weekend here of the PCS, they are showcasing that I'm no longer the bottom 3 teams. I'm not a newbie either. I'm one of the best teams in my region.
That's right, and well-deserving enough. Let's have a look in towards the highlights. I've got to really point out, because they are veterans of the scene. They've been there since day number 1, and finally getting back in towards the PCS. They shine out on this week itself, and Mad Dog didn't really get quite a number of pickups right here, with a big invasion coming in from the side of Ronan to be able to flush out some members of the side of Victim Rise. And look at this Nate setup. They saw 2 members coming in, and June, he expected that drive-by and put in that perfect setup to be able to annihilate them. And LG Divine, they didn't go down without a fight. And Burem United, they were so furious about the first run that they will be able to just get all these sort of kills coming in. But they trade. Look at this magnificent teamwork effort with a whole lot of all these sort of frags being put in towards the Chamber of Fury. But still, they were like undying cockroaches, still lasting towards the top 4.
Yes, and like just looking back as well, like the drops that was happening for a majority of these teams, right? LG Divine is still doing their usual drops, very centered around the map. Fury, Buriram, they always want to try to go towards the very edge here. However, what's really different in this game for today, we noticed at the few of the bottom half of the teams here off the leaderboard, they started slowly dropping at the very edge. Same goes for Purple Moon. They were able to get to an area where they don't have to contest for the compounds or the surroundings too much. They managed to capitalize in every advantage situation they got for themselves here, allowing them to not only get a chicken dinner, but 9 kills in this game here with a total of 19 points. I'm really happy and very satisfied with what Purple Moon is delivering for us today.
Absolutely astounding. And from the future also garnered about 10 kills for themselves for their efforts, with 15 points on top as well. And Team Ferox really coming out hot here, almost grabbing that chicken dinner for themselves until Rocky Well, if only could definitely add Balboa to the back of his name at this point, because he
Ooh.
really put in every single punchline that he has to be able to put Purple Moon on the map once again. And of course, all the other teams managed to garner about 5 points to 4 on an average. LG Divine, although uncontested, they drop out early, and of course, that sort of streak did not continue for them. But with that, Purple Moon, like you said, pushes all the way through the top 6 with double chicken dinner for this sort of a magnificent run that they've been able to put out. And now the only few teams above them is going to be Division X Gaming, Sharper Esports, Buram, as well as Fury, and of course not forgetting LG Divine. Angel Lions actually got quite a number of frags for the past 2 rounds, and they will consistently be in the top 8, moving pretty much 1 point up. While Magic Esports, Victim Rise, Cerberus Esports, you can see that only about 1 point separates themselves apart, but hey, we're looking for a lot of changes to be made in the middle of the pack here. On the lower half, we do see from the future, Daytrade Gaming, Hydra Esports, well, Hydra Gaming, Team Ferox, as well as Unicorn Cyber Danang, still trying to get their footing, but Team Ferox really put up to show that we're not down and out just about yet. As for Unicorn, it seems like they still have a little bit of trouble going in for the sort of rotations from the early game, and the sort of fights that they take is definitely in the open field terrain. So twice being punished for that, I guess it's a little bit unfortunate of them, but the sort of bout that we fight, all this sort of sparks flying up the air with those frag, this round itself, absolutely bonkers, and I just couldn't wait for our Miramar matchup to see what's in store for us.
Oh, Miramar is definitely going to be the one map which all the teams really have to step up, and especially for LG Divine. Although yes, they are in the lead once again by a significant, huge point gap as well with 30 points. The King of Miramas need to try to prevent themselves for being dethroned twice again, like yesterday as well. Buriram, what I was really surprised was actually Buriram's performance in match number 2, and also just noticing from back in match number 1 as well, they were playing a little bit more passive than they usually play, because remember, Buriram was actually the kind of team which is very aggressive. They love to go for those close quarter combats. They will always be the team that has one of the most frags in the game. Of course, there will be some matches where they'll be significantly well, like day number 1, they had 14 kills in one map. And then suddenly in match number 3, they had 0 kills and like no placement points at all. I mean, teams will often have this kind of situations for themselves. But seeing Buriram like not being as aggressive as they usually are in this first and second match on day number 4 is very surprising to me. But I guess they are slowly starting to, maybe it's warm up, or maybe it's the fact that they're slowly feeling the pressure that the game is already halfway through the league here. So maybe
I definitely have a take
really
on this as well. Yeah, like what you just mentioned, we didn't really see too much of them, but in the early game, coming in towards this game to day 4, we did see them pick up a fight effectively against the side of LG Divine, but it's in the midst of all these sort of commotion that's happening across that Stalber Hill, where there's a whole lot more teams looking to book this spot as well, and I felt like it was really not the best of time to be picking up a fight. Yes, they do have the firepower, they do have all that it takes to actually secure those sort of kills. They didn't walk away empty-handed though, walking away with perhaps 3 to 4 points, but absolutely not enough for them to secure a better standing if they're hoping to topple off LG Divine. But same fate, you can see both of these two Titans actually suffering a blow once all the other teams were cutting by. But LG Divine, we saw them hoping to see pretty much a similar ending, which they saw back in game number 1 early on. But it seems to be pretty much readable coming from the rest of the teams that, okay, this is a spot that LG Divine's going to be at, and they either know how to punish or absolutely avoid that sort of territory. And I felt that definitely have costed them a little bit when 4 to 5 other guns were pointing from different directions towards the side of LG Divine. But hey, they fared pretty well. We saw Jun really pick up that big 2K towards the members of Magic Esports, if that's the case. So with that being said, we'll be coming back shortly with another feast of all these sort of chicken dinners coming on our way shortly. My name is Contra alongside Yoli. You're currently watching the PUBG Continental Series 3 APAC, and we will be right back after the short commercial break.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người, mình là APK. Mình tên là Nguyễn Bảo Khánh, mình đến từ team Division Gaming và mình đến từ Việt Nam.
Tên in game của mình là IQ 500. Tên thật là Nguyễn Cao Hưng. Mình đến từ team Division Gaming. PUBG, Divide với lại Cerberus là team có mặt trong tất cả các giải APAC hiện nay. Vì hai cái tên đầu tiên là quá nổi bật ở trong nước rồi. Với lại Buriram thì em đánh giá cao nhất của Thailand.
PUBG. Đáp án của mình là Divide Esports. Mình không nhớ Divide Esports giành được bao nhiêu điểm nhưng mà mình thấy Divide bắn khá là cháy. PUBG. Đáp án của mình là Day Trade Gaming.
Chắc là mình nghĩ là bút mút.
PUBG. Theo mình thì người có số kill cao nhất trong một ngày là SD ở giải PCS2.
Nghĩ là câu D, Zomen. Câu trả lời của em là Divide.
Theo mình là đội tuyển của mình, Division Gaming.
And welcome back once again to the PUBG Continental Series 3 here with me here, Contra, alongside with YOLO Lee, and we have seen a crazy amount of all these battles coming across the fields of Erangel, and we'll be moving shortly in towards Miramar as we check out the top damage being dealt there within the past game itself. Six Room will be the one dishing 665 damage alongside with Rain to be able to stack about 1.2k in total from the side of V-Rocks, and FTF will be coming in with Hexagon ID with 591. Just Moment coming in for 4th place for Purple Moon Esports, who secured the chicken dinner for themselves, and Mipanzuzu of FTF will be making their mark here for the Indonesian side. And yep, that was some crazy tough bout out there, but Purple Moon managed to champion it all through with that double chicken dinner for today.
I mean, it's really great to see, like, just looking at the damage top 5 right now, Contra, is that I enjoy seeing right now all the bottom half of the teams here are slowly making their way to the top here. They're really stepping up. I mean, except Purple Moon here, because they're no longer in the bottom 3 here. They're ex-bottom 3. They're currently enjoying their 6th place spot in the leaderboard. But of course, everything still can change because we still have multiple matches and games are still going on here. So that can rapidly change. But that just shows how fast for Purple Moon, who was in 13th place, elevate all the way to the 6th placing here in the leaderboard. So all these teams definitely is motivating from this. They're just seeing the scores itself on the leaderboard. They're saying like, hey, even though I'm in bottom 3, doesn't necessarily mean I have to stay there. Of course, realistically, by stats and analysis, by PUBG Analytics, of course, they will say, yes, these teams will never become championship or even catch up to to the top one placing or against LG Divine. But who's to say that data can be wrong here? Because right now Purple Moon is already enjoying that 6th spot, but of course, if we're comparing in points, they're still quite far away here.
Now we're going in towards our upcoming match, and it will be inside Miramar for our final 2 games of the weekend, and it will be pretty much an Eastern drop for the side of Fury as well as Buram United. As same goes to Purple Moon, who's looking to march their way in towards Las Leones, and it will possibly go all the way in towards the corners of La Cabrera if this flight path allow, and yes, it will be. LG Divine now goes in for the sort of scrap loots in between the valleys of St. Martin, while St. Martin itself will be occupied by the members of Magic. For the moment, Sharper looking to be trolling in towards the corners, and they might just be dropping in towards the edges of Power Grid. Rocks, our Angel Alliance, as well as Daytrade, they're flowing over the corners of El Pozo. And, well, we will begin our Duke out here in the Desert Dunes of Miramar, and we'll check out that first phase that will be popping by shortly. Pretty much a even drop point for most of these teams, as most of them don't have to go for Plan B.
Wow.
And, yep, very, very neutral circle right smack in between La Bandita and all the fields across it.
No, it's really great as well at the same time. Like a majority, like we're looking at a majority of the teams that's already from the drop alone. They already got themselves really nice and comfortable in the circle. And by the way, beautiful sniping coming from LG Dots on Daytrade here. Managed to pick him up while he was actually trying to go in for the long shoot down to a certain area he wanted to go for it. That's going to be quite punishing for him. However, he's not out of the count just yet. His teammate is still quite nearby. Pucci is getting ready to re-engage once he gets the necessary requirement, like his utilities, and of course weaponry before he goes to save his teammate, because he knows Algin Bats, or at least somebody, is not too far from his teammate, his fallen teammate, Belmoth.
Yeah, I gotta say that this is looking rather dicey for the side of Daytrade as well. Puchu does look from the top side of the hill, so he does have the vantage point if, say, he wants to get that kill being secured. So LGN Bots, if he were to march right by, he might just be asking for it, as Puchu's possibly would be taking himself towards the top side of the checkpoint, or better yet, LGN Bot could slowly wait for the side of Belmoth to be slowly bleeding out. Now, time is ticking, so Puchu's either he takes action or wait for his teammate to be counted out of this game.
Oh man, it's definitely that's pretty much why it's really great at the fact that, luckily enough as well, the Angel Alliance or Algin Boss is actually in a situation where he's actually pretty alone here. But of course, no, he timed out. Belmoth actually timed out here. There was not enough time for his teammate to go and resurrect him, so he died naturally.
I guess you can say, yeah, you can't really put it as natural if there's a bullet in your body, but I'll take that. I'll take that any day. But Angel Alliance, they are actually opening up the fight from multiple angles, and this surprises me on how effective this initial trading went for the Philippines itself. And Mad Dog coming up close and personal against Puchu's. Does he know? Oh, right across his eyes!
Oh no!
And this is going to be the Duke out, and he will be able to get that headshot with that spray. Absolutely phenomenal performance coming in from Mad Dog, and I'm pretty sure the crowd from the Philippines is thriving well. Man.
Someone called the dog pound because we got a Mad Dog gonna lose here, and he's from Angel Alliance. They're doing so much damage. It's so punishing for Daytrade. Losing not just one, but two members in phase 1 circle here, in such an early stage of the game here, and such a big map like Miramar as well, which you need all 4 members to actually be super efficient and effective. Oh, it's really not looking that great for Daytrade in match number 3 here.
Yep, and Matt's going to be chipping in as well. I think this might just be days number 4 Daytrade. And only one man remain. Unfortunately, they crash out relatively early. I think that this has been plotted out by Angel Alliance. And this looks to be very targeted. Like, they've read the game plan. They know that Daytrade members are dropping in different sort of locations, and it's easy to pick them apart from the get-go, and this looks way too clean for me. Now it's only going to be Norins left, and what can I say? Planning, drafting your way out, this can actually lead to really good advantages for any sort of teams that will be able to do their homework before getting in towards the game. Now, Battle Arena leads. They're moving past Minas Generalis already. And Division X Gaming still comfortable on towards rank number 5, but they still got a whole lot to be done to be able to break that 100 mark, as they are currently sitting at 96 points and quite a number of kills. Last game we saw IQ 500 as well as Naughty getting punished by the likes of From the Future, because they did not really check their backs when they were trying to pick up a fight against Fury. But hey, I guess they are more comfortable inside Miramar, as you see the Vietnamese side really shining brightest in this map.
I mean, let's be honest, Division X Gaming, they are definitely one of the teams you want to keep your eyes on for sure. One of the returning teams as well. They were, by the way, they were the champions for Charity Showdown. And although, yes, we didn't really see them during PCS1, but during PCS2, they got 6th place here. And they already did, once again, in PCS3, they're doing so much damage as Long K once again delivering 3Ks, 4Ks for the team time and time again.
Yeah.
By the way, let's just drop that discussion first, because right now Neferhor gonna be walking right into a whole group of from the future here. I think in this case, Mipenzutsu literally came from the future, because he told himself, I know Neferhor is gonna be approaching from that hole, right? So let's all group up here and ensure there's no way he can run away.
Yeah, and Battle Arena Elites, they were slightly caught out right there. The rest of the members have already moved past the side of Graveyard as well as Minas, and the captain of the team suffering the early blow here is going to be a little bit worried. But rest assured, they are right smack in towards the center of phase number 1, so they got plenty of time for them to work things out. Now, moving towards the side of Sharper, they see some rotation coming from Team Furox, and Furox, of course, having a real good round back inside of the final match of our goal that we have for the evening. Now on the pickup challenge, we do see a percentage of both going over on towards main event. Wait, that is a weird flip. I'm not gonna lie.
On a flat.
Is that pebble on the road that we don't see?
Yeah, dude, it's unnatural, dude. It's on a flat road. It's not off road. It's on a flat road and the car flips. So I'm really curious on how that actually happened here.
Okay, at least he found himself a brand new Murado, so
thank God.
He's absolutely fine. Like, the amount of tragedy that Daytrade Gaming has faced in this match itself is unbelievable.
It's tragic.
Absolutely
I mean, I guess, honestly, Contra, I guess you could say Norin's days are numbered here, but
maybe.
But either way,
maybe.
Either way, here's the pick 'em up challenge once again. LG Divine gonna be taking that top spot. And just on the fun fact, actually, Unicorn, they actually Unicorn Gaming here. They actually had quite a huge fan base, because before LG Divine, it was actually Unicorn Dagang here actually, who got the top
Unicorn
one.
Cyber Da Nang, back in their own Vietnamese series, they definitely did extremely well. That Blue went on a 1 versus 8 scenario, and he got that chicken dinner all by himself. Puchus now won't be pinned down, and, well, Daytrade, they are just losing more and more members out there. Just a little bit of replay. And, yeah, I guess they just want to remind us of the brutal past, but look at how many teams here getting scammed by the first phase itself. Now it's driving back in towards Picado. Everybody march right in from the east, and let's see all this battle come into fruition.
I mean, Angel Alliance is definitely going to be having a great time, but once, like I said, Norris' days were numbered, and instantly the countdown to those days has ended here, as Sharper Esports will finally put an end to our dear friend Norris here. Daytrade will be ending this game, ending this match, without getting a single point or even a placement point for themselves. And just also before coming back into the game, after witnessing the minimap, we saw that Division X Gaming has a really great spot, a great location, great amount of cover. Doesn't really have to contest with various teams, unlike BAE and LG Divine in the south, and Cerberus as well, who has to literally, they're not going to stop at this compound at all. They are going to keep going as furthest as possible, because they know that the remaining teams are going to be coming here very shortly.
Oh, Noadra going in for the spray now. He will be able to actually chip some health coming from Levi. Oh, a little bit of health. The skeleton move, and he still survives with a tick of health left. And yep, LG Divine looking absolutely crazy with those sort of the Daredevil moves, but he drops in that medkit for Levi's and say, okay, buddy, you definitely need this one for now, and they're taking a quick checkpoint. As Battery in the leads, contrary to what you've mentioned, you thought that, okay, they might be driving further down, but they're actually taking the stadium of Picado itself to shelter themselves for the moment, while Sharper looking for the outskirts. It's going to be Ferox by the corner of the warehouse itself. So LG Divine will be sharing this vicinity here. There could be noisy neighbors alongside with Cerberus Esports as well as Battery in the leads, as Sophia has already unleashed most of the SLR bullets, going for the 9.62 caliber weaponry, as we could see coming from Battery in the leads members. And LG Divine, they're taking the smaller side of the shacks, so I'm not too sure how long can they hold for.
It's definitely gonna take a while, but either way, speaking of shots here, Waikiki Muka was able to get a beautiful gun spray. No, sorry, not even a gun spray. A beautiful sniping with the SLR on Team Ferrex member Rain here. So Rain's gonna be out of the count. Team Ferrex is currently 1 man short here. They still have 3 man. It's still still doable in the map of Marama here. But surprising enough, we're seeing a lot of members falling off quite early into the game here, and this is still phase 2. I would be expecting more of this deaths, or at least more of the team being fallen out towards at least phase 4 of the circle. But we're seeing so many skirmishes, so many fights happening, or trade-offs that's happening across the map here. However, Angel Alliance, they're having the most best road trip of their life. They actually drop off a little towards, if I'm not mistaken, they actually drop off a little towards El Pozo here, and they just managed to just drive all the way down towards a very comfortable compound here to see if they can get any more utilities for themselves before re-engaging with the rest of the team.
Yeah, I gotta say things are looking pretty good for the likes of Angel Alliance, as they are coming by smoothly from Montenegro side. But over on towards the center stage, Victim Rise now going to be putting a little bit of pressure, but it's Sharper Esports that's going to be smack in between Victim Rise as well as Ferox. And now with another swing, this is going to be moving in towards those valleys of Picado. So Velox and the rest of Magic, they're pretty much happy about this, taking the high ground, while Hydra from the outskirts getting punished by members inside of FTF with the 2-2 split coming out from them. LG Divine now relocates themselves further in towards the valleys of the hills, looking for the crater, and this is going to be a bitch that they could possibly work with, as they will be hiding right down under. But Magic, they are hearing all these sort of moves coming in from the side of Hydra, and they're hoping to stop the Vietnamese side from pursuing any further than that. Magic now gets a little bit of a bumpy ride through the buggy, but I guess it's still going to be absolutely fine for them. So 10 more seconds before the phase closes right through. Fury comes in from the south, but oh, Victim Rise, what do we have here?
Ooh, Victim Rise not too far behind as well, and I'm not sure whether they know that Fury is actually currently in the side. They spotted the vehicles, but I'm not sure where they're actually stopped right now. Victim Rise still going to be chilling here. However, Fury having a nice, beautiful compound for themselves here. Really trying to see any more utilities, and hopefully they can actually try to instantly eliminate Purple Moon, who's actually at the southern side of them. They heard the vehicles, they saw where they were last at, but not sure whether they're going to continue to pursue in the same road pathway as what Fury was actually taken, because Team Ferox might actually try to look for a couple of contention before even Fury will be able to meet Purple Moon.
Yeah, and I gotta say this, this is gonna be a little bit tricky for them to be moving by those corners here. Flood's gonna be able to pick one off, and Angel Alliance goes deeper and deeper in towards the city of Picado. And good for them, it seems like coast is clear, while Victim Rise will not be picking them off from the hills. But Flood, look at the distance covered as he managed to knock out that member of Cerberus previously, and Sharper now looking by, oh no. My goodness! What on earth? Where did that shot came from? Mutiny! This doesn't seem like it's legal at all, but C-Boy's gonna be able to pick off on DXG as well. Big headshot over to the side of Nalty, and now up close and personal. C-Boy's gonna be marching forward. He's gonna be checking all those three corners of the windows. IQ500 setting up the smokes as well. Up above is gonna be Victim Rise, and now that Nate's gonna be popping on top top corner. Long K tries to go in for the save. There's no time at all for the save. T-Boy goes right in. And my goodness, Long K burns himself alive.
Oh man, this is definitely not looking bright at all. However, we're really seeing Victim Rise trying to capitalize in this carnage right now because he knows there's two members currently fighting against Angel Alliance. While happening on the other side, whoa, cars are flipping all over the place here as BA is just slowly realizing what is going on. But however, coming back towards the current fire, they need to take full control of the side. They're slowly pushing forward. IQ 500 trying to find the opening. However, Gypsy trying to go for the flying, but Telly was not really as successful as he hoped for. But he managed to get the kill, managed to get the drop on our dear friend IQ 500, and the last man standing, Fergus, has no choice but to abandon all of his fallen allies and try to go for placement points here. And speaking of points here, you guys can try to redeem this code for yourself for the big amount, guys, and stand a chance to pick a team, or the team which you think that will win, and also stand a chance to get some points for yourself. By the way, that's a beautiful name coming out from Fergus.
Oh boy. Man, that is so hectic. I guess we don't have time to claim close right now. And Sophia goes right down. Loki's trying to save him. There's only very little time left. Oh! Straight away, going in for the trade-off right there. Loki's just not hoping to see his member fall flat. And a great cover fire comes right by from the side of Battle Arena leads as now Sharper Esports will have a little bit of a long trade-off against Inside as he's hoping to pop those nades right across. He does have those level 3 gears as he has looted up those crates, but that nade will be a little bit far off. Now popping one more in towards the side of Sharper. It might just actually connect, and once again, if you remember, the rest of them are just hiding inside of the warehouse. Well, it's just Tinoy here that hopes to be able to get a little bit of an exchange of weaponry as Haisaki gets a headshot on towards Flood.
Ooh, finally they've managed to put Haisaki is able to just like punish Flood for constantly tagging a majority of his members here. However, here comes the raiding party of Angel Alliance. They literally crash or even breach to the very same compound as Cerberus right now. Not sure whether they noticed that Cerberus is here or not, but they heard the footsteps, they heard the gunshots, and now for that one bullet alone, they're gonna start pushing in. They know they have the firepower. Not sure whether I don't think they know that they have even the manpower against them, but that's just a chance which they just have to take here. Even Patrick finds one, goes for the tag, gets tagged all the way down to 12 HP as well. He has to quickly fall back because not much cover here and so much open areas and angles. He has to quickly get to even the best of situation here to try to tell his team as much information as possible.
Yeah, and you can see that Angel Alliance is finding it hard to actually push through the motel section here. The Cerberus members are just decking things out. There's no escaping the wrath of Cerberus right here. Subang opens it up against Mad Dog, gets a headshot, and Evil Patrick, no time to even get that revive over. Even though there is going to be Nan on top of the kill, there's not much cover left available for them. So this is still going to be the revival coming right through. While Levi's will be able to pick up Timoy. Now over on the side of Jude, he's going to be looking for that pickup against the Indonesians. But that goes the damage coming from Subang. Yet again, Joxi finishes off Team Ferox as they'll be the 14th team being eliminated on this race.
While our dear friend Team Fresh did get eliminated away, we already see that the fact that Loxi actually got punished quite hard from Namesy. He's still not dead yet, he just got knocked down. However, LG Divine still trying to look for even more opportunity. Finds Victim Rise, go for the spray down, but there's just so much carnage that's happening all across the map here. And June, the main fragger of the team here, stepping up, and he will instantly trying to find another situation and sadly Kim Siva will put an end to Angel Alliance streak here. And Angel Alliance will be eliminated from the game.
Sophia's driving straight in for the Tiger stand right here, and he got more coverage coming in from the fields. Fury's gonna be the next one to fall. Kim Siva really puts up the pain right here as Sharper Esports goes in with the flurry of nades coming from the side of CES, and Solozzi, he opens it up, but it's not possible. Solozzi goes in to pummel them through, and it was an easy flush coming in from Cerberus here, really bringing up the hammers out, and Ballerina leads. Damn it, getting themselves all wrapped up with those bandages. It's gonna be a Dan flame right in towards this Jack to be able to burn Seymour alive.
Oh man, that's a really a tough way to go as well. But Victor Rice, they still have one more member. Kamal is doing all he can. He gets the knockdown as well. And Sophia from another angle, because you know right now in the situation where blood has been spilled, all these sharks, all these teams is currently surrounding the current team that's in the middle, which is Victor Rice and LG Divine, Joxy, Sophia, trying to get to that higher ground because Miramar is the kind of map you want to at least get to the center and try to find a really high elevation area with some cover or at least a ditch and a pit which you can go for
I'll
pickoff.
say that they're actually sprinting up for that deer last year because this is definitely not where the circle is going to be at. Well, Namsi has heard all the sort of movements.
Oh,
Same goes to Levi's, but they're taking a checkpoint right here. They are right out in the open. Smack between Magic as well. In between the Thai as well as the Vietnamese side. And Joxy, right first time, he's going to be popping out a couple of all these sort of smokes. And they're just buying enough time for themselves. But the coast is definitely not clear. Popping a drink before all that commotion arrives. And it definitely will be Cerberus Esports taking over control, but LG Define, they definitely are in the right spot. Big thing coming from Nancy. Perfect finisher coming in to finish off Joxy. Now it's only going to be Sophia left alive, and there's no more cover. They are being absolutely exposed, and this is the end for Battle Arena League.
Oh man, it's Nate Central, ladies and gentlemen, and how the tables have turned when Ballerina was one of the teams that was actually hammering LG Divine. Now they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, but instantly gets eliminated away. And however, Magic Esports stepping up, Balox especially, Tong K is also trying to find another beautiful flank here on top of LG Divine. They found the champion here. They want to dethrone the King of Marama. They knock out one, they get rid of one, almost fall out with the second one as well. But things are not really working out for them. Although yes, they have the higher elevation, but they don't really have the angle because they're currently fighting at the very slope of this hill. They need to continue to scale up that mountain, so at least that way they would have a beautiful vertical play on top of LG Divine and instantly and potentially remove them from play. But Hydro Game is just looking for the spray and not allowing them at all.
Yeah, I gotta say Hydra definitely in a good spot to be able to punish Magic as well. So, Cerberus Esports just hiding behind the noses for the side of Purple Mood. But the team that has been keeping rather silent is Buram United because they are in a really prime spot. But they definitely will be seeing a lot more commotion coming right through. Rocket Team's going to knock over on towards Jan, and LG Divine will still need to recuperate from all this damage that's being done, and the coast is not clear, but Haisaki gets dropped instead. What a big pick coming from Boston's itself, and it will be members of the side of Cerberus that will be receiving the short end of the stick. 8 teams still remain, and oh, right under the vehicle itself, Rocket Jim could not be able to do that, but Namsi, he tried to go in for the save. He could not have enough time to do so, and now Namsi drives right past, and it's going to be Rapid Sand. It's going to be right inside the shack here, looking for this pickup here as he drives right by. He's going to be safe, and now here comes the close quarter combat. Tonke chipping in from behind. He's going to be able to drop that nade, and Rapid Sand is still not clear just about yet. Big sort of frags coming right through, and Tonke hoping to eliminate him. Namsi, of course, having the days being numbered, it will be a lot of damage being done, but not enough to knock off the Rapid. Does find Tonke though. Now Tonke repositions, goes right and towards the back, and that is another big nade coming in from the back itself. Cerberus might just be coming in from the top side of the hill to be able to punish them.
Oh, Magic Esports having such a great position right now with a high elevation, able to just not only contest and punish Hydro Gaming, but they're also able to pressure one of the members of Cerberus here as well. Unicorn's also having a really great angle too, but they're not looking for too many fights just yet. Buri Ram trying to go for the pickoff, finds one, gets the drop one from the future, and now they're trying to look for even more here. And God Meow is going to be doing the cleanup crew here, and 2 members of FDF will fall here. 2 still remains, but they're definitely not in the best of situation.
Yeah, I gotta say that Bururam has been playing very smartly as they are playing for position, and now they're finally getting the pick that they've been looking for in the late game phase. Phase number 6, we do see Bururam will be dominating the northern section, but Unicorn side with the Nang looking in for that AWM straight to the head. Oh my god, that is absolute lethal. Best now finding the final member from the side of FTF, and Kanaxi got a plan for his own. He's gonna be charging up that nade. He's hoping to steal that sort of the highlight reel away from Unicorn side, but the Nang, and oh boy, he might just be able to connect that one just moments as well as Boston's. Then the next one to fall, and Purple Moon now in danger.
Oh no, this circle, even more towards the central, at least is still in the sort of in the favor of Magic Esports, as well as Tonke has already that high elevation, high ground advantage at this point. Buriram, however, he's still playing around the edge, but for good reasons as well. Valas, however, gonna be able to get a beautiful final kill on Boss Sense here, but from the future. They're at their very edge here, but they're slowly being pushed and forced to scale down this hill here, which right into the claws, into the dance of the lines here of the rest of the remaining teams. Unicorn, our dear friend, Best 1301 here. He's not ready to leave his position just yet. The circle's not really moving. He has 5 seconds. He wants to try to do as much damage as possible. Be quite the nuisance because he totally understands the fact that he might actually fall or even die here while trying to rotate into the circle here.
Perhaps so, but Kanaxi gets that great connection over to the Triple X and instantly removes from the future back in towards the past. Barrera now showing off their fangs, and now they're going in towards the top 6, recuperating from the 2 lost games that they had, which was an absolute blunder back in towards Arangel. Now Magic's going to be the one that will be driving right in as well. And Hydra, they've been stuck by the corner for the longest time, and Magic is just pinning them down with Buriram getting spotted out with Godmail, receiving a couple of hits, but over on top side, we can see Unicorn side, but Danang, they're playing it very patiently with 1 member left for the side of Purple Moon in the form of Rocky, but with a little bit of this stun grenades, this could be holding some time, but oh my goodness, Hydra gets picked off by Godmail, but from which angle specifically they cannot spot out the rest of Magic. They're crunching right through, peeking in through the window, 70 HP, what on earth? Hydra giving cannot defend themselves, and it'll be a 6th place finish nonetheless. Rocky team does get 1 pick up for the side of Klee, and it is not the done deal yet, but Purple Moon will also bow out in style. And this is going to be your top 4 remaining. 4 strong, 4 Magic, as well as Burira.
Contra, I'm gonna tell you right now that I know we use the term breach when a team's coming to well, that's what I call a breach. But Sabera as well, Brazil, Unicorn Best 1301. He knows he's gonna die, but at least he wants to die in style here. Goes with a 360 spin while heading down here, and Basil will be able to have a beautiful view of a magnificent dance by the Unicorn players before he picked them off. Now the rest of the team just look at the circle right now.
That is very questionable. I mean, that literally was a leap of death. Like, that is something that you want to do in a competitive play, and for the members of Unicorn side, but then now they have to rely on the Miracle Wonder Boy in the form of that blue that has been able to clutch a chicken litter all alone, 1 versus 8. But this is definitely not the same playing field that he's looking for with all the rest of the members right down below him. The only thing that he can leverage on is the high ground, but he has to walk right into a circle. Now Edie is going to be looking for that long strike, and Edie gets it. Lobby on the ground.
Oh,
no members of Magic to be able to actually secure a sort of pick up there. And Edie instantly goes in for another one in the form of Severus. Now with the headshot coming right in. Basil will be able to shred him to pieces. Now, this is your top 3. Magic, Rum, and Severus.
Oh man, Severus is definitely not having the time. Godmail is going to be able to pick up Basil, not even allowing Batali. He's going to be dying to the zone, so that's not going to be a kill point for Buriram. However, Noidra, he's going to be very aggressive about it. He wants to try to go for the flank. He's already in the zone. He has a great view as well. Indy was able to find Imumar, and now the last man standing, Tom K. He has to try to bring up 4Ks for the team once again, but he has no cover, not much utility either. And Conancy going to go with the flank out of the blue zone, and Buriram once again will get the chicken dinner for the 3rd time here in day number 4.
What a beautiful finish, and it's a tie domination for the entire day 4 of the PCS3 APAC. Buriram United Esports finally makes that comeback, and with this 20-pointer, 10K in Miramar, this is a huge statement to say to LG Divide that we are coming in for you. And Buriram United Esports, absolutely fantastic. We saw that 2-2 split coming from the hills, coming from the lower grounds. They knew that they have to push in towards the side of Magic to just finish up Tankei to be able to secure this big win. And Barrera now even up the odds, and it's time for them to shine brighter than ever before we close out the entire evening in Day 4 with another upcoming Miramar match to come.
Honestly, it's really great start for Buriram. They needed this. They needed this win. They really needed this win because like the past three games, the past two matches wasn't really in their favor either, including yesterday as well. Yes, they have such a great performance yesterday, but it's like I said, prior before the pre-game cast here was that the lobby is so tough. There are so many great teams here, and Buriram,
Yeah.
they're just like they were looking at the score gap from 19 increased to 31. But with this chicken dinner, with this third chicken dinner and 10k or 10 kills on their backs here, they're managed to minimize that gap. They are very close. And like I said, Buriram, just by their overall achievements here and their firepower and gameplay, they are a very consistent team. They are a very
That's right.
stable team here, but they cannot be just satisfied with third and second place. And remember, this is the last major PUBG tournament of the year. So if they're satisfied with second and third place, then by all means, then yes, then
I'm pretty
stick
sure
with
they're
second
not.
and third place. Yeah, of course, they
Yeah,
are
of
definitely
course,
not.
like, we just missed out the entirety of the highlights while talking about that, but then again, well, still, it is definitely Buriram right here, really putting its statement out there, but I gotta say, during the highlight reels, Magic honestly had a good shot at this as well to be able to snatch it away from Buriram because they actually had those early information towards them. But they were so fixated inside of the shack to be able to finish off the remainders of the side of Cerberus. And yet again, look what we have. Cerberus Esports was the one that secures that second spot as they got more kills, 16 pointers for them. But Buriram, this huge 20-pointer, will send them up flying, but I don't think it's enough for them to overtake the side of LG Divine because they managed to garner 6 points right here. Purple Move with 7, 5 points for multiple teams in the form of Victim Rise, Sharper Esports, as well as Unicorn Cyber Danang. But hey, we got 4 pointers in for the side of Angel Alliance, Fury with 3, alongside with Hydra as well, while the rest of them still need to do a whole lot of catching up in match number 15. So hopefully by the end of the day, we'll see whether will there be any sort of fight at all coming from the Kings of Miramar, LG Divine.
Honestly, like it's I was a little bit concerned for Buriram as well because like the playstyle you want to play for Miramar, you want to try to go for the high elevation. I mean, by rights, yes, the argument, there's always that argument when people between all the PUBG fanatics, right, where in Miramar the high ground has always had the best vantage points. Yes, but with the placement just now from the circle, which is pushing a lot of people towards the lower ground here, where Buriram was actually playing the lower ground here and hoping that the fact that zone would actually push them down, they were playing the edge here. They found the opening, and that's going to be allowing them to get a lot of advantage and also advantages, and also go for pickup, allowing them to get their third chicken dinner, and that's still going to getting their total points here in the leaderboard of 125. It's no longer a 30-point gap here. They are back, although yes, it's still the double digits here, but they are ever so close to LG Divine right now.
Yeah, LG Divine is still making a little bit of the sort of the point differences game after game, though they have been having a couple of the draw for the past 3 matches. This time, they are still having the highest amount of kills to book out this entire tournament for today. After this game, at the very least, later we'll see what will happen in the upcoming match inside of our final duke out here inside of Miramar. But hey, LG Divine have definitely set those standards right from the start with those multiple chicken dinners. And even if they didn't really get any for today, they are still pretty much in slight comfort zone. Yes, there might just be a couple of challenges going right through coming from the side of Buriram, Fury, and the rest of them. But hey, they can still have a couple more days to work on it because next week we'll still have even more action coming in for the PCS 3 APAC region. But before we get ourselves in towards the next game here, we definitely want to see what will really happen on the next one here. It's either LG Divine really closing the entire competition with another big win, or Buriram here really fancying their chances to tie up the knots and, of course, go in towards week 3 with a very convincing fashion to really reset the bar. And the rest of the teams that are chasing in from the top 5s itself still honestly have a chance at it. Like you saw Papamoot's rise, and they are just looking stronger than ever. Like this matchup inside of the Miramar itself, they got picks after picks after picks. Yes, they did not make it towards the top 4, but hey, that's enough for them to just solidify themselves in towards the top 5, and we'll see what will happen just next. So with that being said, we'll be coming back shortly after a short commercial break, and we'll bring you our final game of the evening before moving forward for the upcoming week.
สวัสดีครับผมนายกฤษดามักมงคลนะครับผมชื่อเล่นบีนนะครับตอนนี้อยู่ทีมบุรีรัมย์ยูไนเต็ดอีสปอร์ตมาจากประเทศไทยครับ
สวัสดีครับชื่อนายชนะพงษ์ศรีไม้ครับผมชื่อเล่นชื่อปลื้มครับมาจากทีมบุรีรัมย์ยูไนเต็ดอีสปอร์ตครับผมมาจากประเทศไทยครับ PUBG ครับไทยแลนด์เวียดนามฟิลิปปินส์มาเลเซียอินโดนีเซียครับผมแล้วก็โอชิเนียครับ
PUBG ข้อ2อะไรนะครับบันดุง PUBG ไปนาน
PUBG อาจินครับผมยังงั้นเอาข้อแรกได้ครับเลือก2ข้อเลย1 2ครับผมครับผม
PUBG ข้อ3กับข้อ4แล้วกันดูประหลาดดิ3กับ4อันนี้ตอบได้2อย่างใช่ไหมหรืออย่างเดียวชื่อมันแปลกๆประหลาดมันมีมันเคยได้ยิน PUBG ตุ๊กตุ๊กกระบะเย้สวัสดีครับการแข่งขัน PUBG APAC ก็ใกล้จะเริ่มขึ้นแล้วก็อย่าลืมมาเชียร์แล้วเป็นกำลังใจให้พวกเราด้วยนะครับผมพวกเราทีมบุรีรัมย์ยูไนเต็ด Esports จะทำให้ดีที่สุดเพราะรอบนี้เป็นรายการสุดท้ายของปีแล้วนะครับก็พวกเราก็หวังว่าคงจะเป็นแชมป์ได้ในรายการนี้นะครับแล้วก็อย่าลืมมาเป็นกำลังใจให้เราด้วยนะครับในวันที่ใกล้ถึงตอนนี้นะครับส่วนใครที่อยากติดตามหรืออยากรู้จักผมสามารถเซิร์ชใน Facebook ได้ครับ Facebook Connexy หรือว่าเป็นช่องทาง YouTube คลิปคอนเทนต์ต่างๆนาคือ Connexy เหมือนกันนะครับแล้วก็ Instagram ของผมคือ Connexy นะครับและอย่าลืมมาเชียร์พวกเรานะครับบุรีรัมย์ยูไนเต็ด Esports ขอบคุณมากครับ
สวัสดีครับอย่าลืมมาติดตามพวกเราในการแข่งขัน PCS3 ที่จะถึงนี้ในวันที่7วันแรกครับผมแล้วก็ฝากเป็นกำลังใจให้ทีมบุรีรัมย์ยูไนเต็ดอีสปอร์ตด้วยครับแล้วพวกเราจะทำอย่างเต็มที่ครับผมขอบคุณมากครับผมที่ PCS3 APAC
ครับ
สวัสดีครับผมตองเคนะครับอยู่ทีมเอติกอีสปอร์ตนะครับมาจากประเทศไทยครับ
สวัสดีครับผมเบลมอสนะครับอยู่ทีมเดเทดเกมมิ่งครับมาจากประเทศไทยครับ
PUBG ครับข้อ2ครับพี่สกาแอลอีก3ข้อมันเป็น D SR กับ D เขาเรียกว่าอะไรปืนระยะไกลหมดเลยครับพี่3ข้อ
มีเวกเตอร์มียูซี่แล้วก็มีทอมมี่กันครับ
UMP UZI ทอมมี่กันเวกเตอร์คอสโบแล้วก็ปืนพก1911P ครับ
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen,
Mhm.
to the PUBG Continental Series 3 APAC region. My name is Contra alongside with YOLO Lee. We've been covering all the action for today, and now down to it's the final game of the weekend before we hit end towards
Mhm.
more rounds set for next week. Same time, same place, and it has been an absolute feast for all of us. But we'll be able to enjoy yet another round to see whether or not will any teams be able to challenge the reign of LG Divine. Let's check out the top damage dealers for our past match itself in match 15.
I mean, of course, just looking at first place, definitely our champion team, winner chicken dinner team, is going to be Buru Ram here, and their player is going to be Gone Meow with a total of 681 damage. That is super significant. And close by is going to be LG Divine with 670 on MC. And for the second place, also tying the scores, is going to be Tonke with a similar score mark from Magic Esports. Fourth place, there's not going to be a third place, it's going to be fourth place, it's going to be Cerberus with Haisaki, who actually try to hold on the line as long as possible with a total score of 643. And the last, in fifth place, will be another member from Magic Esports. That's going to be Sulabai with 633. Then what's really amazing to me is the fact that how consistent that Magic Esports was able to deliver inside the game. Although yes, Tonke is the one that's really carrying the team, the main anchor, the main fragger here, quite similar to how Eddie is in Barom here. However, just looking at the kill score, the kill damage rate here for the top 5, it just sort of reassures me that the fact that okay, Tonke is not only the one that's doing the majority amount of damage, but the rest of the team is still able to deliver and support the teammates. But of course, Baram, same goes with the rest, alongside with Eddie. But Eddie, he always loves to be taking the spotlight of the team here. So he's always going to be the one that's delivering the most amount of damage.
That's right, and now we're hopping straight in towards our final game itself of the evening. You get your pick'ems out there to be able to vote for your favorite teams on who will be the most likely to get this chicken dinner in the bag. LG Divine is still the kings of Miramar right here with 79 points up in total, 67 for the side of DXG, hoping to actually topple the score if they could get another chicken dinner inside of Miramar, as we'll take this flight from La Cabrera all the way in towards Impala's corner. So with that being said, we'll see pretty much a lot of all these good drops in towards the northern region of the map, but over on the south side here, it's going to be quite a tough spot to be in, as we will have very little areas for them to float right by. Chumacera seems to be a little bit off of the parachuting route, and it will be Peppermint dropping in towards Los Leones once again. Now, for the side of Hydra, going for the scrap loops by the edge of water treatment, and FTF is going to be moving in towards Hacienda. Instantly, we see Elgin Bots once again punishes Day Trade, and this is an absolute mayhem, and they have not been letting Day Trade get any rest at all.
Man, that is very really unfortunate. The first time I thought it was okay, it must have been really lucky the fact they got a kill. The second time, this could be almost conclusive or literally dedicated to the fact that alright, we just want to ensure and instantly get rid of a team as fast as possible.
Look at the health left. He took that SKS and now it pinned him down towards the corners of the slums. And I'm not sure when is he going to be getting out of this mess. They've already lost Puchius early on, and you don't want Fergus to drop right here. But hey, it's a total different team, and Angel Alliance is just marksmanning their way out of this one.
Yeah, without sights as well. I mean, except for Mad Dog, of course, who was able to pick up a beautiful snipe for himself here. But still, delivering so much damage. Even Day Trade, the member, they don't even dare to push out. They're saying alright guys, chill, we'll get a vehicle, someone will come eventually to save us and be our saving grace. But that's going to be quite difficult. Just look at the distance difference between themselves and the rest of the team, or towards at least to a next cover. There's barely any cover at all. It's just high ground.
Look at this. They're actually finding whatever smokes possible to be able to cover the grounds, and that buggy went on autopilot to drive all the way across the highways, and I'm not sure if they will be moving out and Elgin bots. Come on, man, give them guys some slack. Day trade is just absolutely depleted by now. There's just no rest for the wicked.
Oh man, really no rest at all. Once again, the days are numbered for our dear friends Day Trade. Definitely not out of the game just yet, but they don't really have a vehicle or any form of transportation. And I believe they already used up a majority of the utilities and smokes just trying to back them out. I guess the only saving grace that Day Trade could ever have a potential chance to actually leave that area will be for Angel Alliance to literally abandon the current compound and leave, or another team starts picking a fight with Angel Alliance. That way, at least Day Trade would have that window of opportunity to at least make a run for it.
I am absolutely impressed by the tenacity that Angel Alliance has. And look at the perseverance. He's still looking for it, lining it up. And here we go. Taps after taps. And yep, they're going further away. And I'm not too sure what could Day Trade really do. There's no vehicles whatsoever. The only possibility of them getting out of this is the other two members who are having a lot of safety net to be picking whatever vehicles that they have. Hopefully can fit all 4 members out there to be able to save the entirety of the squad. But Battle Arena leads now, moves across St. Martin. Quick loots, I gotta say, as they are already driving in through to look for the first phase, but now in towards the territories of LG Divine. I'm looking at the chances here of them getting picked off, but they are definitely getting a lot of room with those 3 vehicles. And look at this guy, man. Not even the helmet on towards. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing for him at this moment.
Honestly, Contra, it's a rough way to end the night for Day Trade for sure here. He's literally just chilling it. He's saying that I can't run. He's just hoping that the fact that one of his teammates will be able to get back. Like, and the funny thing, the funny thing about this is the fact that one of the members is actually in the zone already. But anyway, a couple of trades, a couple of pre-fire happening for across the team here. Juxi, he managed to find LG Divine here, but not going to be fully committed about this just yet because he has no idea how many members are there in this compound. But either way, he managed to get into a vehicle and should be able to outrun the pre-firing of BAE. And speaking of running, our Day Trade members here still on the run.
Yeah, I gotta say, after 5 minutes, finally he gets a little bit of spare room to just get himself to safety. So he'll be able to run in towards the first phase. So good news for Day Trade at the very least. But for the side of Magic Esports, they are already seeing a little bit of crosshairs being pointed in from Victim Rise. Jen Foss from those high elevations. This is going to be some interesting sort of the point of view for him to be able to look for some potential pickups in the form of Tonkay.
Oh man, it's still definitely going to take some time, but Juxi making the right call as well to quickly get on the buggy here. Instantly leave the warehouses because he just instantly spot 1, 2. He spot 3 members of FTM. Immediately he told himself, you know, I have the firepower, but I don't really have the manpower. I better back up with my team as well, because let's be honest, this is still phase 1 in the circle here. They do not want to experience like what Day Trade experienced in the last game as well, in the last matchup as well. So they want to survive a little longer, taking the wisest decision here to rotate back to the team, getting more better position, because they're already in the center of the circle already. So all they have to do is just play with time, play with the positioning, then worry about pickoffs later on as we slowly approach to the phase 4.
Yeah, and right now, back towards the side of Buriram, they're going to be holding in towards water treatment. They're still in the coverage of phase number 1, but still not much has been known about the whereabouts of the final circle. So Buriram hoping to play a passive game. Longkey does spot out Sweet Soul. So for the side of Team Ferox, they will be having some troubles here. Sweet Soul being one of the top fragger for Team Ferox themselves will be eliminated, and he'll be getting some early rest to prepare for the next week bout itself.
That's for sure. And this is the thing is about yes, Buriram might want to play passive here, but if they want to end this night in the most amazing manner possible, just to and not just end the night, not end the evening, but also end the week here for the second week of the PCS3 here for the APAC. They can actually try to get the chicken dinner again, but also get 9 points because they're literally 19 points away from actually topping over LG Divine here. So if they want to try, if they want to be a little bit more aggressive, I wouldn't be surprised. However, Inside going to be a little bit more aggressive. He has sides here. If they go for the couple of taps, Ronan will be able to fall on another side as well and cleans things up alongside with Inside. Now that's what I call double taps coming from the two members. Oh, Fury.
Yeah. And for that blue, it definitely feels back as he didn't really check what's coming right behind him. And yeah, this is pretty much an easy pickup for the Fury. So adding that 1 point right there, looking pretty solid as they are now sitting at 111 points, still in the chase, in the running. Now with a little bit of update coming on next, Purple Mood moves in from the junkyard, but they are having a lot of clear zones to be able to move in if they were to buy the stops of course the Vol. That will be looking pretty good, but with the update coming in, I guess Purple Mood still has quite a significant area for them to just hold for the moment. But with St. Martin being the main playgrounds right here alongside with water treatment, I guess LG Divine, they're hoping to pick up a little bit of the sort of the dots here to be able to get Buram in trouble. But look at Buram right now. They're taking multiple different sections, and Namsi has been occupied with BAE right in front of Namsi.
Yeah, and like Buriram as well, like before we came back to the game away from the map, they were actually surrounded by 5 teams here. And like you said, they were a bit far from the rest of the team here. That's because Buriram and Fury, including Fury and BA as well, they like to go for the 2-1-2, or it's like 2-2 positioning. But here comes the breach here. But I'm not sure whether LG Divine noticed that they heard the car, but they don't have no idea what team it is. Fergus finds one of the members, trying to go for the pickup truck here, trying to reposition it in a way where at least he has some form of cover. Jen finds an opening, go for the spray down, including one of his teammates, trying to fall off the team if they can manage to get any drop on Division X here. However, Division X, oh, he actually got tagged all the way down. I'm pretty sure, Contra, that was actually 2 HP on that man.
Yeah, and we're looking at Sixrin almost dropping Long K out of that vehicle itself, and yep, almost correct. It's a 3 HP on top of him, and yeah, gotta say that he is definitely lucky enough to be able to survive that. So with that, you can actually see that he definitely needs to recuperate coming in from the northern section. And for now, Buriram is going to be relocating. Once again, they spot out a real good warehouse that they could definitely call home, but that's also because there's going to be a lot more room for them to peek over on towards the water treatment side, as well as the southern side of Hacienda.
Oh man, and like speaking of sites as well, like Buriram, although yes, I love the idea that they actually rotated away from, not to say a crater of not a crater of a cover here, it's just more like just really low ground compound here with very little cover. I love the idea that they actually reposition here, because they also took into account of not to say remember everyone. They had a rough memory of which team actually dropped at roughly which area. So they decided to rotate at least to relocate in a position where at least they have a fighting chance instead of being surrounded from multiple angles here. However, having a great spot with that compound with high elevation. LG Divine, not to say on the highest elevation just yet, but it's definitely the most safest spot they can actually be right now, because LG Divine has already reverted back to their strategy, which is heading into the center of the circle, finding a compound, and just hide there all the way to literally the very end stage or end phase of the game here to go for those pickoffs.
Agreed, and just to spot out on how LG Divine members have been playing, they've not really moved all too much because they like to drop directly in towards those valleys, and of course with this time around the circle favoring majority of them, but with the other teams being smacked right in towards the bottom section right there, LG Divine has to push through each and every one of them, still caring about DXG that's going to be come by. Same goes to Team Ferox that has been across that sort of slum terrains. But Buriram United, they're already looking for that pick against Purple Mood that has been driving deeper in towards the south side as well as the east. Well, for the side of Sharper Esports, they are now taking the highway, and I'm pretty sure that they should be looking at a lot of all these sort of corners of the hills, because this place of St. Martin's is absolutely stacked.
It is really stacked, really heavy as well, and BAE having a really beautiful high elevation, literally such a great vantage point here. They're gonna be able to pressure a majority of the team here. However, LG Divine not too far behind, literally getting ready to the backside and actually managed to drop down Neferhor here, and unfortunately that kill that was dropped by June will be stolen away from the future here. Triple S 1155 here, and now BAE, they have to get ready to fight and defend that compound with their lives against LG Divine, because they're getting ready to breach this very situation, and they're going to go for the spray down. 60.1, go for the spray. Safari, he gets tagged all the way from behind as well, but JN will be getting that opportunity to finish things off. But Sophia falls up with a beautiful nade, drops down June, but sadly not going to be enough, as BAE will be eliminated away, as Name C will put Sophia to end BAE's streak for tonight.
Yeah, I gotta say that LG Divine alongside from the future has really dented the hopes of BAE from doing all too much. But LG Divine here, they're under pressure as well, with more members of the side of Victim Rise drawing all the attention in towards this compound itself. Like, we saw that members of the side of BAE, they're hoping to get those picks, but it was absolutely on the wrong time. Many of these members were already on the rotation, also catching a glimpse on all these sort of movements, and they got picked off right on the outskirts of that sort of territory that they've secured, and they have to pay the price for it, unfortunately. So the Malaysian side, of course, sits out from this final game of the evening, and Ferox now over on towards the corners of the hill. Tanki's going to be able to knock Kim Siva. That's a big pickup here. The Thai side both going on exchanges, and Tanki finishes off Kim Siva. But Mad Dog still at it, finds Mutiny. Oh, what a distance being covered by Mad Dog. Patrick also will be able to finish things off. And with that, we reward you with the Pickup Challenge codes right on your screens.
Oh, man. Seriously, guys, redeem this code to not only stand a chance to get some beautiful points for yourself, but also show some support to not only to your favorite teams, but of course to your favorite game here in PUBG. Finally, speaking of which, we're going to be witnessing the Phase 4 circle here. It's going to be going to the northeast side here, a little bit favoring Buriram once again. Same goes for Division X. Also, Purple Moon, who's currently at the very edge here. Now the rest of the team, once again, including LG Divine and Fury, have to go for another mass rotation into the circle here. And we're going towards Blacklands, actually, Contra.
Yeah, that's right. It's a lot of open terrains to be able to actually get a couple of picks here for the side of Buriram. Running circles. Oh my goodness!
No!
It's going to be Buriram that drives right by IQ 500. They definitely will not see that one coming. Just sneak it right under their noses, and now that's going to be an empty vehicle of Noadra. Oh boy, they were on that 2-2 split. They tried to regroup, but this is not the way that it should have been done at Buriram, losing out that chance. They understood that if it's going to be a 2-2 split, there's going to be a lot of teams that will be crushing in towards either side of the compound. They choose to join forces, but Haisaki gets to in the form of Rain as well as Ronan. And now 6-3 will be picked up by Kamels coming in from that sort of backstab. Yukikamukel now looking in towards the creases of the car wash itself. Ronan should be able to be revived by Inside, but LG Divine just by the edge of the corners of the water treatment itself. They are arriving to the scene, but DXG is already on the move. Triple X now gets that kill on towards Shiburet, and they are taking over by the storm.
Speaking of storms, Victim Rise is currently in the center of the storm, because from the future, once again, with their foresights and of course with their great information, cheating information from the future here, they know Victim Rise is here. They're pinned down as well. However, Gen Force not going to be allowing them to fall out too early here. However, we're seeing contested on the other side from Angel Alliance against Magic Esports, and instantly, Angel Alliance will mow down a majority here. Our Asian bots here. He's an absolute beast today for Angel Alliance.
I gotta say, that is completely the highlight of the night itself. Elgin Bot, alongside with the rest of Angel Alliance, has set up that highway trap itself to be able to just pin all of them down. Denfoss now being alone, but he does get the knock over as a triple X. Gypsy Danger now gets a little bit of attack over outside of the member of FTF, and now Hexagon's gonna find a little bit of room. Denfoss does get that nade all across, and it's gonna be from the future here that goes in for pickup. But Angel Alliance, 5 big K already in the back. Victim Rise will be out for the count, but Angel Alliance now sneaking right in. There might just be more that they could get out of this, other than that highway setup that we just witnessed. And there we go, Angel Alliance dropping right in.
Oh man, once again they're gonna be Mad Dog gonna be knocked down from a backstand from Solo Z as well. But then we have time for a double, but the nade happened. Whoa! Instantly deleting Mad Dog here and even dropping and knocking out Algin Boss as well. The car flipping, the car's on fire, and there goes the Morado, and now the rest of the team of Angel Alliance. The two, not to say two members, two remaining members, they're trying to decide whether do they want to try to regroup and try to get back the one lone member that's actually knocked down, because he's knocked down in the open here.
Oh, here comes Basil. He's on a 1 versus 2 scenario. Now he's trying to find those angles in. He's going to be knocked out as well. Instantly being removed from play. Fury now won't be able to find even more on site, but Suba's going to be able to pin down Basil. Actually, he negates that kill away from Fury by nading his own teammate. Great denial of points, but Patrick now running for his life. He does get knocked outside of play zone. You can say karma strikes back for the side of Angel Alliance.
Oh man, karma is really real here for them, seriously. But now it's still fine, you know. They still have one remaining member of Angel Alliance here. They can still play. They already got quite the amount of kill points here. They can still play for placement points here. All he has to do is just play with the time here. However, now let's looking back at Fury. He sees Sharper Esports as well on the other side of the compound. Currently in this, not to say the center, but he's currently in Hacienda as well here. Trying to see if he can go for any part shots. He's hearing a lot of gunfire. The circle's already approaching towards phase 6 here. And from the future will be eliminated away by Cerberus Subang here, who puts the final man down to the ground.
Yeah, and now with pretty much the last man standing for the likes of Angel Alliance, all up to Nan right now to be able to cut through Hacienda del Patron, which is manned by most of the Australians royally, taking the entirety of the match by themselves. But IQ500 spots out JN, and that might just be the end for him with the big headshot, but Nan still sneaking past, and it might just be Flood that might just be able to catch a glimpse of the final Angel Alliance member. Now, he's going to be able going prone, but Purple Moon, they're driving right by. This is going to be it, and LG Divine needs to decide what should they do from this point onwards. Scott now does open it up, and just moment goes down on the ground. It's going to be a quiet moment for the now, as Angel Alliance does have all these bullets flying their way alongside the Molotov, and now having to pick up the fight. He's got to damage the door for a little bit, but that's going to be a big wraparound coming from inside, and that will be it. Inside gets the kill, and say goodbye to Angel Alliance for tonight.
They're going to be our dear friends from the Philippines here. However, Daytrade is still coming back into the game here. Norris pick up a beautiful couple of kills here on Unicorn. However, moving around, making full use of the carnage and full use of the situation as well. We're going to be saying goodbye to Unicorn, but very soon to Purple Moon as well. If LG Divine decides to back up Bori Ram here and pin down Purple Moon down for good. But Los Santos, however, managed to knock down God Miao here. And now we're going to be seeing, we're not even seeing a three-way here. We're seeing 5-way of contention between 5 teams here. Division X on LG Divine, Purple Moon on LG Divine on Purple Moon, and Buri Ram is on Purple Moon. We're seeing so many ways, and Fury is also trying to join in the party as well from the long distance party.
My goodness. Look at this circle favoring the side of Buri Ram, which means the side of DXG, they're gonna join in the fray. They're watching right through the open fields, trying to pick up this fight, and it's gonna be inside that picks up McZona's big news here. Sharper has 1 man down for just dropping in those nades. He might just be able to connect. Levi's now half HP, and there's no escaping. And all the rain of nades is not gonna be giving him any sort of room at all. LG Divine now blindsided as well. Purple Moon rushing in from the back. They know it's high time to punish them, and Faucets will be able to secure the kill. But Jun transfer back. Faucets is down on the ground as well. Los Santos now going for Pete. He does get that sort of knock, and LG Divine completed right now. They still have 2 members being left, but over on the other corner, okay, the trade right back. Los Santos is now on the count, and DXG might just be the biggest winners. As I speak of it, one big nade connects and saying goodbye to Elgin Define.
Oh my lord, out of the carnage, only Division X will reign supreme here with reaping full of the benefits. And now the lone last member of Purple Moon being pressured by the gunfires of Brewery Rom here. They lost even his car wheels. There's literally no wheels left on his Murano. So even if he wants to try to take the vehicle, there is no way going to be able to get out kind of situation. Hydra Gaming, Mickey was able to get a beautiful job on Monotika here. Fury decide to join in the party. They know the zone is here. Phase 7 is coming soon. They're creating a quick smoke trail. Despite being an open area, they should really thank God on the fact that there's a lot of ditch and a lot of pits here. That's going to be able to give them some form of cover as they slowly prep the smoke trail step by step into the next compound and prepare to fight against Hydra Gaming.
Yeah, I gotta say it's a really smart move from the Australian side, and now Hydra does have a little pressure on their side, and the problem is they don't really get the sights on towards the side of Fury, so they're randomly dropping those nades, and they trade. Out of all the troubles of the early game, they actually survive all the way to top 8, and of course, lapping the way to the bank if they can actually close it up with a chicken dinner. But Long K now spots one sort of the straggler right across the corner. One big nade connects, and it will not still clip on towards the side of just moments, as he's still on the brand new Murado that has been untouched, unbroken. I guess Riram still waited out. They still have 3 members left, and phase 6 closing in about 15 seconds from now. Now, Subang tries to go in for the crate. The XG members pretty much 4 men strong. Now
Fury
looking to actually connect towards him. Fury dropping in as well. This is not looking all too good for Cerberus.
Oh man, definitely not fun at all. However, Fury still wants to try to get a lone control of that compound. There's only 2 members of Hydra Gaming inside that little hut as well. And let's be honest, Fury, they still have quite a lot of utility as well here, except for inside, of course. He's literally emptied out of all grenades and smokes here. And our dear friend Hydra Gaming, 2 members here. There's no way for them to run at all. They're trying to just jump. Literally hopscotch out of the zone here, but the grenades coming in from Flood here will be successfully be able to knock down Rabbit. Fergus on the other side will be able to finish off Purple Moon here. They will be eliminated away. Good night to you, Purple Moon. You did such an outstanding job for the first 2 games here. But now for the final night, we're going to be seeing
how many
else
do they want to miss right now? There's a whole lot of lobs that have been blinding their own selves, but Fury still wants to end this on a good streak at the very least, trying to peek on towards the corners. Now, he does not really get all those sides in, but oh, it's a big pickup from Ikikamukau, taking on now Robo as well. Hydra now will be cleared right off, but Fury now in trouble as well. As you can see, many of these members just chipping the damage. Flood now finding a couple of members from the side of DXG, but took them long enough to actually go in for the flush. And Long K now finds a little bit of the angles against Puchu. That's gonna be a big headshot coming from the side of Flood itself. Now Long K breaking down that pickup truck, and they are definitely on the move. Trying to squeeze by the edge of the circle, and it will be a whole lot of smokes being expended. No time for them to loot up, and Cerberus down for the count. It's just going to be Subang. After spending some time by the crate, he's going to be hugging and waving it goodbye. But Sharper Esports is the one that will be on the 7th spot.
Oh man, sadly as well, with Daytrain Norris pick up the last remaining member of Sharper Esports, they will be instantly eliminated away. Same goes for Cerberus Esports as well. We're currently looking at the remaining 5 teams here. Daytrain only got 1 member, so same goes for Hydra Gaming. Ram Fury and Division X still going strong here, but of course Ram is still 1 man short compared to Fury and Division X, who still has 4 more members. The final circle here, phase 8 Contra, will literally dictate who will be able to get that beautiful vantage point for themselves, because right now it's flatlands, barely any covers, not much utilities as well here. Literally it all comes down to their DMRs, their spray rate, and of course their trusty burial.
That's right, and we're already seeing DXG having a little bit of the sort of room coming from the northern point, but they have to move through the plains itself. Look at them going on foot. They do know that Fury members are inside of the shack, but
they're going to be having a really tough time for a majority of the stream. However, a beautiful smoke trail has been created between the lone member of Hydra Gaming and Fury. However, whether Division X Gaming decides to use this opportunity to really scale up or take an advantage, we'll just have to see. However, Division X, I believe they have a beautiful opportune moment to go for the flank here. And inside, he's not ready for it at all, because right now Fergus will be able to easily get rid of Flute, or Flood in this case, entirely here. So now Fury is now one-man trot. It's a 3v4 here. Buriram joined in the fray. However, Division X will take full benefits here of this carnage out of this third three-way party here. We're looking at the top 4 teams, and Fury, from 4 members, they're only down with 1.
Well, at the very least, they still have insight here to be in the running in this top 3 position. And DXG, having all 4 members actually pummeling down on the rest of the members of Fury, I'm pretty sure that the sort of the attention span coming from DXG will be shifted towards the side of Buriram United, knowing that there is a lot more room of coverage coming from the side of Buriram, and they have to push outwards. So inside, if he does have any more smokes, he has to set it up. But DXG pretty much pickled out on towards the trees, and I'm not sure how exactly are they making it out without catching a couple of lead coming in from the rest of the members of Buriram. Now T does have a couple more stunts, and Knaxi now making a move pass in towards the corner, trying to go in for the big wraparound. Got Bell now keeping his eyes up inside, and Knaxi now has to deal with the threat coming in from the side of Long K. He's marching forward. He does get the glimpse, and he almost dropped him out, and it's not going to be enough. Inside, Trent strikes back. This is what he's been looking for. Long K expires outside of the blue zone, and it will be inside there with another point in the bag. 13 more HP. Oh, he gets it! And Fury in the top 2. Buriram, they will close out with a double chicken dinner for themselves. It's a Thailand domination. But I'm pretty sure the Australian side have been having the big smiles to end the night. Buriram United Esports with a streak.
Oh man, really amazing stuff coming in, Contra. I'm not even kidding you. 2 wins in a row here, 2 chicken dinners in a row for Buriram here, making full use of their positioning, their surrounding, able to pick the fights and not being too greedy about it. They were very patient, let's be honest, compared to their playstyle, their usual playstyle. They've been very patient about it. And that patience finally paid off. But what I really think that was really amazing about this game was not really Buriram. I mean, of course, Buriram's amazing performance with the chicken dinners and everything else, but the final retaliation coming out from inside from Fury. Lone man standing. He was trying, although yes, it did support Buriram in the way as Inside was actually picking on members of Division X, but Inside was telling himself like, all right, if since I'm going to die here, at least I want to try to get some score, some points for my team at least, because the game is not really over just yet. 1 or 2 points, kill points, will be so beneficial for my team. But anyway, here is some highlights about what happened throughout the entire match.
Yeah, and we started things off with LG Divine here really reaping it out against the members of the side of Battle Arena Elites, and they tried to turn tail and run, but it didn't really work out. But Division X really cut out the stray member of the side of Buriram. But this is where magic happens, where a lot of all these members of Angel Alliance really punched them through, but Genfos really putting up the numbers as well. Cerberus comes in for the back, and this is where Subang really outshined the rest of the members of Angel Alliance.
Oh yes, it is another round of Nade Central here. Seriously, I just love the fact that how everyone just started literally started rotating towards this spot, because they not only do they know that LG Divine is out of position, not in the best situation as well, but they also want to try to deny them as much points as possible, because they only achieved 2 points in this matchup, so they only went up by 2 points, so they have a total scores. I believe the match leaderboard later will be calculated with their placer points later on, but for now they only went up by 2 points from their previous points, which was 147. But either way, Buriram coming in strong here. Although yes, they only got 3 kills in this game here, 3 points. But that additional chicken dinner, that placer point, that additional 10 points, 13 points in total which they achieved, should be able to assist them and elevate them all the way ever closer to give them a fighting chance against LG Divine for next weekend.
That's right, and I gotta say it was quite the clutch coming from inside as well. You think that they're from the land down under, and it might just be all over when the entirety of DXG were hunting out for them, but look at them. They had the last laugh as well, with Inside really turning it up the volume and just pinned down the rest of the executors initially, and they managed to finish with a top 2 position. So that itself will be able to reward them so handsomely. So with Fury as well as Barum both rising up, what's it going to be for LG Divine's position? We'll soon to tell, but let's have a look in towards some of all these scores as we check out the leaderboards right now on this matchup itself. Division X Gaming were the biggest winners with 14 frags to book, but I guess if they could have closed out the game, that could have been even more for them. So 30 points for Buriram, 16 for Fury. So a real big leap for these 3 teams out there. Daytrade Gaming, you understand that they had one of the worst possible starts, but hey, they still managed to go in for that top 4 finish. Cerberus on 7 points, and Angel Alliance, not too shabby. All 6 pointers that they get is all from kills.
Yeah, and it's just really amazing stuff. Some of the teams, although yes, there were some situations where some of the teams were really in a rough spot because the circle just kept shifting towards the open areas, away from the compounds, away from those high grounds as well. That literally forced a lot of situation where the teams had to go for mass rotation, and like every time they go for a rotation, they run into a team like Angel Alliance, who was literally just holding down the fort on those highways and instantly go for the spray down. Definitely wasn't very fun for our different matches esports when they ran into Angel Alliance, or at least into the face of Angel Bots here. But in the end, Angel Alliance was only able to close things out here. They only can go that far with only 6 kills here. LG Divine, lucky enough for some of the teams, especially for Fury, they were only able to get 4 points. So they only able to get a total of 147 total for this leaderboard here. But Buriram, look at this. We initially from the first, after day number 2 here, they were having a score difference of 30 to 19 points. Now we're just looking at a very simple single digits here. We're talking about like 9 points. They're literally 9 points difference away from LG Divine here. Although yes, this is the last match of the night. I think Buriram, I believe they wanted to get at least a little bit more kills because they were so close to catching up to LG Divine, but they're still very satisfied with the chicken dinner they won for themselves, and this should at least give them some motivation edge when they go into next weekend, which is only 8 more games to go.
That's right, and Fury also will be happy with this sort of finishing move with them securing that second spot in that past round, and also garnering so much kills itself. And they're not too far from Buriram United, so next week they're hoping to actually overtake Buriram, unless the LG Divine as well as Buriram could do something about it. So Sharper Esports as well as Divine Division X Gaming has been able to make their mark to be able to reach that triple-digit scoreline. Cerberus Esports with 96, 95 for Pupamut that has been able to surge their way through. Angel Alliance themselves are actually tying the scores with Magic Esports. So a lot of dramatic stuff happening in the leaderboard, and I just can't wait to see what comes next on towards our standings for the following week itself. Now, checking out the damage scoreboards, it's going to be Inside with a ridiculous 880 being done in that match 16. And wow, I got to say salute to you, my friend. And Long K also coming in closely with 794, 604 for Canaxi of Buriram United. Alongside with Godmail here to be able to dish out those damage. But Algin Bots, we see from the start of the game all the way to the end, he's just putting up every single bullet on anybody he sees. And I guess definitely he will be in that damage score chart somehow. And yep. With that being said, we're going to be looking at the top fraggers of the tournament as well shortly to see who currently will be leading the charts.
You know, honestly, like just seeing Fury or Insights in this case being literally the top 1 here for the most amount of damage is not surprising at all, because we also need to look at the fact that they had during the circle phases between 5 and 7, they had such a great positioning and elevation as well, and Fury just kept tagging multiple people from a long distance there. So if he wasn't really going to get the top amount of damage here, then I am going to be furious here, because I'm like, that is not right. But however, here is your another top 5 for the damage board here. Long K, of course, going to be taking top lead here. He is the main fragger for Division X here. And of course, they made it all the way to becoming one of the top 3 teams in the final circle. However, Inside put up with such a last man stand, putting such a pressure on Division X in that last fight, allowing Buriram to clean things up and allowing them to get that winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, and of course, not forgetting Godmail as well. He has been able to still pull strings for the South program.
Yeah.
LG Divine having Namsi to be able to do the work, and also Purple Mood having just moments appearing as one of the top killers for today. But Nan is definitely the big surprise for the likes of many, because he have picked up game after game those high number of kills, and he walks away with a total of 11 for today, just moments with 10, only one short behind the Angel Alliance member. Long K, no surprise to us, as he's been on the radar for the damage charts as well. 7 for him, 7 for Triple X, 11165, and also Vanatica with 7. So pretty much the lucky 7s coming out for DXG, FTF, as well as Day Trade. But I just definitely feel that they just still got a lot to work on for the upcoming week for the side of From the Future as well as Day Trade. But hey, at the very least, we're seeing Day Trade members really getting back on track. The ex-members from the side of Golden Cat now getting used to the tempo of the game already. So with that being said, I believe that we've covered the majority of the evening itself, and we definitely look forward to what's to come in the upcoming week here in the PUBG Continental Series 3, all brought to you by PUBG Corporation, Geek Events, K&K Revolution, as well as Cause and Effect. Thank you as well, Yolo Lee, for being my partner in crime and the commentary desk. And of course, it's been a great weekend spending with all of you guys who are watching the entirety of the tournament. I see you have a message on your hand here, so go ahead, deliver it.
I mean, of course, like as usual, it is an honor once again. Like you said, it was really fun to cast you again, Contra. It has been a long time as well, and also a great honor to be casting for such the biggest PUBG event of the year, the last one as well. So it's been really fun watching such an amazing team going head to head with each other, and of course, for all of you amazing viewers, you guys are the best. Because if it weren't for you guys, there wouldn't be us, there wouldn't be production, or even the games itself. So all you guys, so make sure to drink water, because next week will be the final week for the PCS3 here, so you gotta be giving out your all to support your favorite teams from the various regions.
And with that, we'll definitely bid farewell to you until we see you guys back on the weekend. My name is Contra, alongside with you, Lee. We'll be closing off the night. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
Ciao.